Testing 1, 2, just doing a sound check before we get rolling in 2 minutes, everybody. 2 minutes. If you can hear us and it sounds okay, and it doesn't sound tinny or crappy, then thank you for checking in. 2 minutes.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And a good morning, everybody, and welcome to Beach Talk Radio, episode number 216, coming to you live from Peach Time Out, our home for coming up on 4 years. And before we get to our first guest and our first topic, we always like to say thank you so much to all of our great sponsors and supporters here on the beach. And that includes Sun Palace Vacations, Fort Myers Beach Realty, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Margaritas, State Insurance USA, La Ola Restaurant, Coastal Vacation Properties, Tuckaway Cafe, Beach Pottery, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at Beach Baptist, Island Carts FMB, JPS Vacation Rentals, and of course, Pete's Time Out. We want to thank everybody that supports the show through our Support BTR page. We got a lot of donations from the listening public last week, and that was really cool. And I forgot to bring all their names along like a jackass that I am, so I'll do that next week. But thank you all to everybody for all the donations. They were between $5 and $100 last week.
Wow.
Which was nice.
Wow.
Everybody was expecting to see your hair, and instead they see a hat. So you build up the hair to such a big thing. Is it too loud?
Down
all right.
There we go. Woof.
Turn your cans down. Speaking of cans, did anyone hear what happened to Danica Patrick's cans? I mean,
I don't want to talk about
did you hear what happened?
And you're being
all right,
you're
we'll get
in
into that
bad
later.
Territory there. Listen, you keep making me come down here and run on the beach.
I don't
and then
make you do anything.
Beach hair and I can't do beach hair. I don't care because I do care because it's all wet now.
Waiting in the green room to jump on the show is Ben Duval. Come on in, Ben. He's standing right there, like out of view of the picture.
He's anxiously awaiting this painful thing.
Ben Duval from Tuna Skin is back to tell us about many, many events that are going on with
I know, right? Well, I just have to put my feet up.
Listen, Ben, I don't want you to get you're in the way of the fire extinguisher behind you. The fire extinguisher is a big attraction here. No, I'm kidding. I was complaining about it last week when we were outside, but it's nice to be inside again where the fan is blowing. We were outside for a little while this morning, but it's hot out there. It gets hot at 9 o'clock in the morning. At 7 o'clock, it's perfect. You know, so maybe we should back the show up at 7. And then 9 o'clock, it's brutal out there. So, and the other thing was that I promised Nello that I wouldn't go out there while he's still working for base.
I just saw him this morning,
and I want to keep my promise because we're friends, and I don't want to put him in an awkward situation. Now, next weekend, I don't care because he's retiring. He's
Yeah.
retiring. I think he's got 2 days left. So after that, I don't care who has to take our pictures or anything like that.
He was
but-
out driving this morning. I saw him on
Yeah.
the beach. Yep. He
Did you
looked
say
so
hello to him?
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
Well,
didn't
he's
say
gonna
hello. I
retire.
waved because I was just sucking wind as I was trying to run.
So, Ben, tell us a little bit for those that don't know about tuna skin.
Tuna Skin, we're a local brand. We make aquatic apparel. We're based here in Fort Myers. We have our main store here on Fort Myers Beach, right down here. We've been there for about 8 years, and we've got 4 other locations around the west coast of Florida. So we're a local Florida brand. One of the big things that we really appreciate is the support of the Fort Myers Beach community, because this is where we started. And it's just one of those places where even in the bad times, like when we were forced to close down, we still got support from the local community, which was really nice.
And you guys do cleanups too. Like talk about
We do.
All right. Well, I wanted to ask, you said aquatic apparel. Tell us, what does that entail?
Well, let me tell you, all of our shirts, good transition. Thank you for that.
I was trying to do it without his
Well done,
interruption,
well
but
done.
hey.
We do aquatic apparel and shorts, shirts, hats. We call them jokers. They're like buffs or gators.
Oh, okay.
We have a lot of other seasonal stuff in there, but we specialize in T-shirts. Our big thing is 100% recycled. Our T-shirts are made out of 100% recycled plastic, which is really cool. They're quick dry, antimicrobial, which means it doesn't grow your funk. Wick away material, and they're sun protected, which is really nice.
I wear this undershirt now under this shirt that's I've had for 15 years.
You've had the undershirt for
Yeah,
15
it's-
years. Is
it's-
it really an undershirt, or is it just string by now?
I don't know. It's an undershirt, but it's got hard edges now, like underneath, like the armpit area where
Yeah.
it's probably if you put your nose up to it right now, it'd be awful.
I'm sure it would be.
But it's stiff. Like I mean, I don't think that would happen with your stuff, would it?
I would hope not. I haven't had mine for 15 years.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite sure I sweat as much as you, but I do sweat a lot. So,
yeah.
in 15 years, I'll give you a heads up as
Okay.
to whether my
Do you
armpits
have
are
anything
crusty.
that's 15 years old that you wear?
Do I? Yes, actually, I do.
You
I
see,
have
sometimes
some-
you get attached to clothing like
I-
you do a woman.
I do.
Oh.
I get attached to clothing.
Yeah. Like, what is something that you have?
I have a shirt that I had in college. It was a
College?
Miller Lite shirt, and I had it in college, and I still have it, and I still wear it. That's kind of my gauge as to whether I'm gaining weight in
I
my
see.
older age.
Does it have hard underneath armpit
It
kind of
actually
things?
does.
See,
It
Told
does.
you, it's a thing, dear.
But
it's a thing.
it's
So
not a tuna skin
disgusting.
shirt, so
I
I
see.
couldn't.
I see.
I don't know if that would happen with our
That
stuff.
would never happen with your stuff.
you probably
Of
got it for
course
free
not.
at a bar.
I think
in college,
I found
right?
it in the laundry room at my college dorms.
Hey, we were talking about, guess where he went to college? Do you remember? If
no.
we talked about it before? Ithaca.
Ithaca College.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't
Upstate
remember
New York.
that.
This
but yeah.
Florida boy went to upstate New York and decided that was a good idea to
Not.
go from Florida.
So I
To
got
New
an
York.
off the kind of an off the wall
He
question.
doesn't.
Of course
He
you
was
do.
not listening at
Of
all.
course you
Did
do.
you
There are
see him drift
There are
off?
some people that walk around the beach without a shirt on. That if you weigh 300 pounds and you're not physically fit, do you think it's
Okay.
appropriate to walk around without a shirt on, or do you have a shirt that would actually fit a 300-pound man with a beer belly?
I feel that if you were 300 pounds and walking around the beach, more power to you.
Yeah, you
There
got.
you go.
Take
No,
it
but
off.
you know, you
get
gotta-
comfortable.
I got it. You got to don't care in the world kind of attitude.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if
And
you're
I'm-
more comfortable wearing a shirt, we
Yes.
do have shirts that'll fit you.
I was going to say, I'm sure you have shirts that fit.
What is the biggest size that you've had to fit a
Biggest
shirt
size,
for somebody?
typically in the stores, in our retail stores, we go up to 2X in everything, and then some select styles we go up to 3X.
Nice.
If you're buying custom, we can go up to 4X, but
yeah,
most of the time that's not needed.
gotcha.
You're the
Here.
topics that are either disgusting or troublesome. You're
Armpits.
at 3 already.
Big people and your hair. Those are his topics for
I
the
was a little
morning.
and he was
surprised
getting.
At the Danica Patrick story from last
Oh,
night. I mean, did you hear
see?
about that?
I didn't.
don't,
You should
don't.
Google that. I'm not
No.
going to talk about it because
It's probably
kind
not.
of odd.
Yeah.
It's kind of odd, but you should Google that when you. Everybody's
So-
Googling Danica Patrick right now.
You were just recently in Key West.
We were in Key West. Our Tuna Skin events team, we were in Key West for the Moat Marine Ocean Fest in Key
That's
West,
awesome.
which was really cool. We have Our Key West location and our Sarasota location are next to different Mote Marine laboratory facilities, and they're one of our big partners. And they invited us to join them for their first Ocean Fest back. They haven't been doing them for 2 years, and there were a bunch of environmentally based companies and stores, and it was just a really good time, kind of bringing awareness to conservation, bringing awareness to ocean habitats and stuff like that Mote Marine is really good at doing. And they invited us there, and we didn't even sell anything. Our goal wasn't to sell anything. We were actually there to explain to people and have people be educated on our apparel and other apparel out there that's made out of 100% recycled plastic and how it helps out the environment when we're able to recycle things.
I would have liked to have gone to that. I like Mote Marine. I haven't been in a while, but I went
It
to the
is
one
one
up
of
in
my
Sarasota
favorite
places.
places.
Yeah, it's nice.
So, do you
You've
like?
never been. You hate the environment.
We've been
Ouch.
having. She's
Ouch.
been really negative on people lately. Like
Well,
she
speaking
thinks,
of the environment,
yeah.
transition. Did you
There
see
we
that?
go.
We were
We're just
also in
gonna
Key
do the
West
show now
for
'cause you
beach
can't keep
cleanup.
up.
We had an island
Nice.
cleanup in Key West. We do one at all of our 3 retail locations. So we did Fort Myers Beach here 2 months ago.
Right.
Last month we did Sarasota. This past weekend we did Key West. We had an island cleanup, filled up an entire dump trailer full of garbage. And
Wow.
some people didn't even go to the beaches. They were just walking the streets of Key West picking up garbage.
So let me ask you
Nice.
this: when you guys are out doing the beach cleanup, do you think, yeah, we can make a shirt out of that, or that's going to be put that in this truck because we're going to make a shirt out of that?
Our
Or,
first thought is just to clean it up.
right.
And most of the stuff that gets brought off the beach, we get that a lot in our stores. You know, are your shirts made out of the plastic that they pull out of the sea?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, most of the plastic that's pulled out of the sea has started to biodegrade, or it's growing funk on it, and it's not to the quality that you would want for something that you make into a
Well, he might want it.
He
you
might
know,
want it
he
with
might
his
want it.
crusty armpits.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is it that people just can't pick up their own? Like, if you go to the beach and you make a mess, why can't you take it with you? I don't understand why there needs to be a beach cleanup.
That
why?
is a good question for everyone.
Triple bell
It's
for
kind
me.
of an obvious one.
Hey,
I
he didn't need to
think-
say that.
You know, we get a lot of people that come to the state of Florida because they love it, because it's beautiful, because they love the beaches. They come here, they enjoy it, and when they leave all their stuff on the beach.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either. It's like when you're on a trail, leave no trace. Pick your stuff up.
It's,
Yeah.
We need to go back to that. Remember the old commercials with the crying Indian?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes.
Don't litter. Or what
Yes,
was the,
yes,
what was the
yes.
slug line there? And you
I-
see the Indian. Why
I
is it
don't
gotta
remember
be?
exactly
Now
what the line
I
was,
know,
but
now-
now I see the crying Indian.
Now you can't even say
Native
Indian.
American.
You see, you can't even say
Native
Indian
American,
anymore. For
yes.
crying out loud, I'd be canceled
There-
if it was
You've
possible,
been
because you can't
canceled.
say Indian.
I don't know. You have to remind me of the gentleman who always complains,
I
not
can't- I
complains,
don't.
talks
I'm
about
sure he'll-
keep you off track, keep you on track
Not
because
just
you're
on
rough
track.
today.
We're talking about the beach
No.
cleanup.
So
We just need an Indian that stands on the pier and cries the whole time. Doesn't need to
speaking
be a
of the
real
environment.
Indian. Yes.
So you
so
and me.
tell us about the upcoming second annual mid-May
Oh,
mayhem.
I thought you were. Oh, you
Let
were
me
reading
tell
it.
you about the upcoming second annual Mid-May
Mid-Mayhem.
Mayhem Fishing
Mid-May.
Tournament. This is obviously the second year we've done it. Last year we had a great turnout. We're hosting here. It is a beach fishing tournament, which is really nice.
Yes.
So you don't have to have a boat. You don't have to have gas. You don't have to go far out and catch a bunch of stuff. You can fish from the beach. And we're hosting it. If you want to sign up, you can go to our website. You can follow us through Instagram or Facebook. And we're doing teams of 2. You can sign up for $50.
Okay.
That's it, folks. $50, and that's for both people,
For
right?
both people, you get a not inaugural, but a second
Second
annual
annual.
shirt that is designed by our artist. It's I was trying to wear mine, but I couldn't find it, so I have my Grouper Grapple shirt. We'll
Yeah,
talk
have you
about
lost
that
And we're
weight?
going to be
a little
talking about
Have you
that
lost
too.
weight?
Have I lost weight? Thank
Yeah.
you. I have.
You were a little chubby last time you were here. How much
I-
weight have you
I
lost?
appreciate that.
Guys can say that to each other.
Sometimes you just need a reality.
How much
and
weight have you lost?
About 10, 15 pounds.
Nice.
Very nice. How'd
Thank
you do it?
I became very conscious of what I was eating.
Well, there you go. I mean, sometimes that's all it takes.
Sometimes you eat just
Yeah.
to fill the void.
You cut out the
to
bread.
Continue on.
Yeah.
Trying to cut out the bread,
Right.
but just being aware of what I'm eating.
You didn't do that fasting thing, did you? Try that.
The intermittent
intermittent-
fasting.
No,
No,
I
that's-
can't. I can't do
yeah.
that.
Got to have food. When I had a colonoscopy and I had to stop eating for 24 hours, that was the worst thing, not being able to eat.
Tell
you
me
did
more.
not eat any
Oh, you're going to
fish.
have one soon?
So
You just want to hear about my colon?
no.
Tell me more.
No, I'm
Is
not
he
going to
getting
bore
off
you
topic
with the
again?
colonoscopy.
Yes,
Yes,
be
because
wrong.
he didn't eat any fish, but there will be fishing on May 14th, which is when the
That was a stretch, but I like how you went around and got
Wait,
back
so
to
when you say fishing from the beach, you mean anywhere on the beach? here?
anywhere on the beach. We have from North Island to South Island, as long as you're not on the ICW, and we have three different
ICW
fish,
means what?
intercoastal waterway.
Okay, got you.
We have three different fish that you can fish for.
Okay, what are they?
It's going to be snook, trout, and redfish. And we give you a ruler, and you can measure the fish, and then you send us pictures as you
I
catch
see.
them, and we'll get your text with the picture and your
Cool.
team number, and we'll calculate it. So when people come back,
So when you're fishing,
and it's not a full day thing. It's just from 7 to 11.
yeah, it's about from 7 to 11. And it's we want to get people out fishing in groups. Fishing as last year, the great was a bunch of families that came out. They were either coming out to fish or coming out to support other family members. So people
That's
the
great.
team of two would come out and fish, and the rest of the family would come out and experience the beach while they were fishing. And then they would come, and we had like kind of an award ceremony
Mhm.
for our winners, and we had raffle items for people that they won. So they came, and the rest of the family came and enjoyed that at our retail store here on Fort
When-
Myers Beach.
And I gotta say, you guys, listen, if you're fishing, you should get in this because tell them what first prize is.
First prize is $500.
wow. When you lost that weight, were you exercising too?
I was trying to exercise. Yes.
Running or
he was
biking?
fishing. He was practicing
I
his
was
casting.
trying to walk more
Yeah.
because I have a
How old
very
are you?
energetic
Yeah.
dog who needs.
How old are you?
How old am I? How
Yeah,
old do you think
38.
I am? I'll take 38.
How
I'm
old are you?
40.
40. Okay. Well, you should be running at 40, not walking. I mean,
I should be,
Wow.
but with my knees.
Oh, you
I
got
had
bad
knee
knees.
surgery.
Yeah.
You have
so
the really good shoes on. You like those Hokas?
the Hokas.
yeah.
Yeah.
What happened
yeah.
to your knees?
I was actually doing a half marathon, and
I see.
someone stepped in front of me at mile 11.
Wow.
And I took
Oh.
a side step and tore my meniscus.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark. Yeah. Did you finish?
I did finish.
You
I
made
finished
it worse.
a hobble,
Yeah.
which was what the doctor said. And then
So-
what they didn't tell you was after meniscus surgery, 15 years later, you'll have arthritis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have arthritis
I
now?
have arthritis in my knee.
You know, the
Oof.
first 5K I ever ran, I thought it was 3 miles. We were talking about this last night. So I ran for 3 miles and stopped. And everybody's like, no, it's 3.2 miles. And I'm like, no, I'm good right now. I'll just walk across the finish line.
How
I
did
mean,
that work out for you?
Yeah, well, I didn't place or anything like that, but it felt fine. I felt fine. Nobody walked in front of me either. So, but it's 3.2 miles.
Was it
It's a
actually a
killer
race, or
one.
were you
It
just
was a
racing?
race. Oh, it was
okay.
a race. It was a race. And it was.
How did you not know as people were going by
I
you?
saw that in a 5K, you have 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 mile
Yeah,
markers. So I stopped after 3 miles. And I was
But
like, well,
didn't you think
where's
there'd
the-
be a
where's
finish
the
line?
thing? Yeah, where's the I'm supposed to hit the ribbon with my boobs and cross the finish line, but there was nothing there. So I was like, well, this is a crappy race. Who's running this thing?
Not you for the last
No.
0.2.
No, that's for sure. So these people that are going to be
Bell, that was a good one.
these people that are going to be fishing, are there going to be a lot of kids?
We're hoping there will be a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got last year we had, I believe it was 2 kids that participated as a team.
That's it.
There was. We're hoping to be more.
Yeah.
Like with many of our events, we're trying to make it not just about what's happening, but
Right.
a experience. So
Right.
there's not just the fishing, there's the after party, there's the raffle, there's the
So when
bringing
you're-
the family to
and
the
the
beach.
kids win $250.
So, dear,
Yeah.
listen, when you're fishing, no, not you. I'm not calling him dear. Let me get a question in edgewise here.
Mm.
So, what's with the hair on your shirt there? What's that? Who's
My dog.
Oh,
That's,
what
that's
kind of
my
dog
dog.
do you have?
He's a Staffordshire Bull
How do you get
Terrier.
hair?
He's right
Oh.
over there.
yeah,
He's,
but how do you get hair that
Oh.
far up on your shirt there? You
he
picking the
doesn't
dog
know
up?
boundaries while you're driving,
I
and
see.
he's
Oh, got
he's
you.
about 70 pounds and likes to
He's
put his
a
paws
big
on your shoulder.
boy. Hi, buddy.
All right, dear,
He's
with the
looking
dog
right at
stuff.
us.
So when you're fishing from the beach, I know people out there are going to think this is a dumb question because they're all fisher people. How far out do you have to cast it? Because the water's shallow where you're standing. How
The
far
water
out do you have
is
to
shallow.
cast
A
it?
lot of the time in Florida, people will wade out to fish, and what they don't know is, especially on the west coast of Florida, as you walk off about 4 feet, there's a drop off. They call it a trough. And right in that trough is where a lot of the snook will run up
No
and down
kidding.
the beach. So when you see people wading out into the water to fish, the fish are actually behind
Oh,
them.
crazy. So how deep are the snook?
in the trough, maybe 2 feet.
So bobbers.
Oh, here we go.
Bobber? Yes.
Yeah, if you want to fish with the Snoopy rod and the bobber
Yeah.
and the worms,
Yeah.
give it a shot. I'm curious to see what happens.
You're mocking me, aren't
Nothing.
you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Where do you get that? Do you
Where
sell
do you-
it at
where do
Tuna
you-
Skin?
We don't sell the bobbers or the fishing rods.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
But-
think he knew that question was. You warned him about the bobber question,
No,
didn't you?
no.
How dare you? Has anyone ever caught a fish in one of your tournaments with a bobber?
You know, that's a good question. We do allow
Ben, you need to cut it out with the good questions.
we do
Statement.
allow you can catch your own bait or you can go and buy your bait right after the tournament starts. So you can fish with a bobber, you can fish with a popping cork, or you can fish with you can also use fly, you can use a fly rod.
You cannot use a net, though.
You cannot
Oh,
use a net.
Please.
Yes.
Isn't that obvious?
Nope.
One would hope that it's obvious. You can use a net to catch your bait, but
Bait,
you can't
yeah.
use a net to catch
Oh,
the
so what
fish
if you
for the
accidentally
tournament.
catch a fish you could accidentally catch a real fish in the
You
bait
need to
net.
let it go.
A
Yeah.
lot of fishing is about
The honor
character and being
system.
honest
Yeah.
with it.
True.
And
Do you
if
find a lot of people on this beach have character?
I do.
Yeah. Have you been to a
in our
town
fishing
council meeting?
tournaments.
I'm kidding, of course, joking.
I have not,
set
but
me
now
up.
I'm curious
Yeah.
to see.
they're all great characters.
I'm sure they
town
love you
council meeting.
talking about them on your show too.
They don't listen.
They don't listen. Nobody listens to this show. So
I hope
did
nobody
you talk
listens to
about the
him.
second tournament
So
yet? Or?
the first one is the mid-May
Mid-May
Mayhem.
Mayhem, which
And
is
then
on
the
the
second
14th.
one,
You can
right.
still sign up for Mid-May Mayhem, the beach fishing tournament. Go to our website, go to our Facebook, go to our Instagram. You can sign up for that. The second one is our Grouper Grapple. And I'm wearing our Grouper Grapple shirt this morning from last year's Grouper Grapple. And the Grouper Grapple is an offshore fishing tournament.
You're going to need a boat.
You are going to need a boat to win it. I mean,
Mhm.
you could go offshore and swim or
Could
whatever.
you go
but
in a kayak?
if you really wanted to, you could probably go in a kayak. You know, on the west coast of the United States, they kayak fish for like sailfish and stuff.
Okay.
They fish real deep. So I guess technically you could if you knew the right spots, but you probably wouldn't win anything.
No. And so that's in July.
That is in July. That is July 14th, 15th, and 16th. And it's a 3-day tournament. That's another one of those ones where we don't want it to just be a tournament. We want it to be an event. So we have everybody meet up the first day on the 14th for the captain's meeting. The second day is fishing all day. The third day, we kind of give you run of the island. You can hang out. And that evening we have our awards banquet, which is kind of nice. So you can bring the family, you can bring everybody out and have them enjoy. So it's not just one person in the family going out and fishing all day and then everybody going home. It becomes an event.
You know, now that I'm
And then, wait,
Go ahead.
can I just say
And
that some of it's going to be benefiting the healing through the outdoors?
Healing through the outdoors. Yes. So
that
last
sounds
year's
so cool.
each
I
year
love
we
that.
try and partner with a veterans organization and
Mhm.
they pay for the full ride for them to fly in and they put them up at hotels and they
That's
fish in the
nice.
tournament. We
Did
also
you hear
give our
that?
proceeds to Healing Through the Outdoors. And what they do is they bring in these
We
veterans
love the
that have
veterans. They're great.
been out in war, PTSD. They bring them in and they just want to give them a good experience, some camaraderie with local or with fellow vets.
Mhm.
And so for the most part, we have had a great experience. We're on our 7th year of the Grouper Grapple, which is really cool. And each year, our 9th year, she's correcting me. We're on our 9th
she likes to
year
correct
of
people,
the
Ben.
Grouper Grapple.
She likes to correct people.
I knew you were going to say that.
She does. She
No.
corrects guests all the time.
I'd rather be correct.
Well, I'm just taking that from what I saw.
And
so
no,
maybe
you are
I'm
correct.
wrong.
Because now that I think of it, last year would be our 8th year,
Got
which
it.
would then be our 9th year this year, right?
Right. And
Okay.
did you do it last year?
We did do it last
Okay,
year. Last
okay.
year was our kind of our first year back.
It's hard with COVID when things got canceled. It was like, do you count that year if you didn't do it so you'd stay in order?
Like the Shrimp Festival,
yeah,
folks.
right,
They
right,
just
right.
skipped right over
And
them.
Right.
we missed 2 years ago. Last year we did do our tournament, which was
Got
really
it.
nice. We're trying to build up the momentum again. Last year we had 15 boats. We're hoping to get some more. And it also benefits along with the Healing Through the Outdoors. It also benefits the Jeff Sommer Memorial
Yes.
Okay.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
Right. You know, now that I think about it, is the Indian crying about litter or is it about forest fires? I'm having a brain fart right here about what that is.
I think I would have to look at the old commercial. I think
I
the
think it's
Indian.
Smokey the Bear that's crying
No, I think
about-
the Indian cried about a lot.
The
Because
Indian did cry
we
about a lot.
fucked up a lot of stuff on the Indians.
Oof,
I mean,
we
it
did.
took a
We
lot of
messed
their
up
shit.
a lot of things.
Yeah. So, but it could have been litter. It could have been the forest fires. But
It made an impact because you're
Yeah,
still talking
yeah.
about it today.
he
and
was
that
one big ass Indian. He might need a triple X. I mean, that was a big dude right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They should have
I'm
never
not saying
canceled that
anything.
commercial.
I think they're bringing it back.
Yeah, I hope
For
so.
something.
I think I'm gonna Google it
If
later.
you talk about it enough,
Yeah.
they will bring it back.
The Danica Patrick thing has got me all frazzled. That's why I'm confused about the Indian thing.
I'll have to look that up and see
Yeah.
where your correlation is because you
Yeah,
keep
there
coming
is
back
none.
to this.
There is
There's never a
none.
correlation with
There is
anything
none.
I say, Ben. But did we get everything? What kind of watch you got there? That's pretty cool.
This is a
Oh, here we
G-Shock.
go.
What?
A
Hey, the
G-Shock.
same one you have.
How
That's
much
the
did
one
that
you
thing?
got.
Here, let me ask him. How much did the watch cost you?
That watch,
$139?
I got that. Actually, I got that for $49 on sale.
Did you
Wow.
have any issues trying to get it to
Set it up.
set
To
up?
set it, yeah, you have to know how to set it, and each time the time changes,
It's a
then I just
nightmare.
have to Google
Right.
how
Yeah.
to fix it. And
Isn't
it's a
that
2-minute
crazy?
video. You follow it,
Yep.
and then you can change it
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
Yeah. Is
It's
it
not
waterproof?
that easy to
It
follow,
is.
though.
Yeah.
It
Is
is.
it a diving watch and all of this, that, and the
It
other
could
thing?
be a diving watch. It doesn't have those particulars
Yeah.
to it.
Okay.
That's the one that isn't $49. That's
Right.
probably
That's
the more
what he's
expensive
got, but
one.
he's not going to be diving.
Well, I got it for
so-
free because I
Yes.
asked somebody
It was a
about their
gift.
watch. They brought it to
And
me,
then
and
he-
next time they came down on the
Hey,
show.
brought
you
you
don't,
clothes.
Is
you
that
don't
what
need
you're
to
looking for?
You
You're
don't need to
looking
get
for
me a
my
Yeah,
watch. I was hoping
For
for some
free
tuna
stuff.
skin shirts. You didn't bring us any shirts or anything.
You know what? Next
Jeez.
time we will get you some
Come
tuna skin
on,
Oh,
man.
here we go. You're going to.
All that free publicity, we don't get anything. Free gifts, man. What kind of guest are you?
Now you really
Swag.
put him on the spot.
No. Now you're gonna get some.
That's it. Now we're
Now
taking
you're
your
gonna
dog.
get some.
No, you can't have the
I
dog.
know,
He's too
I
cute.
know.
All right, Ben.
He's cute.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you guys for having
wait,
us.
again, when's the first tournament?
First tournament is the
14th of
Mid-May
May.
Madness, and you can sign up now. It takes place on May 14th, and the Grouper Grapple takes place on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of July. And we're going to have signups for that coming to our website and the groupergrapple.com website shortly.
Thanks
If
a lot,
I
Ben.
had a fishing pole, I think I would do that.
I think
Although
I
I'd
would like-
miss
we
the
should talk
show,
about
You
it.
but
live
yeah.
here and you don't have a fishing pole?
We have a couple in the
Yeah,
garage.
We do, but they're for we're there for New York fishing. They're
For New York
yeah,
fishing?
Yeah, yeah.
So
they're
they
for
tell you
stream fishing.
They tell you how much better it is up there than it is down
I'm
here.
gonna get the Snoopy one.
You can't really
All
reach
right.
out there.
Ben Duvall, everybody. Always
You
a
guys
great
enjoy.
guest.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ben. I appreciate it. I'm going to take care of Island Carts FMB. If you're tired of wasting money on gas sitting in traffic on Fort Myers Beach, make sure he knows that if he stays for breakfast. So you're going to eat breakfast, 50% off for you. Yeah. You need to make a quick run to Publix maybe, or get some beer, or maybe get a Snoopy pole with a bobber on it for the fishing tournament. Then you should leave your car behind and get an Island Cart FMB. They're killing it, everybody. You know why? Because they have batteries that last a lifetime. That's right. Well, close to a lifetime. It certainly lasts long enough for you to get to where you need to go. And Island Carts FMB is a golf cart company run by local residents. They have one goal, and that's to churn out happy customers, just like our show is. We have one goal, and that's to churn out happy listeners. And that's all we do every weekend. We have fabulous hair, we have fabulous sponsors, and we have fabulous guests. Our next guest, maybe not so much. Island Carts FMB just announced all their carts have been upgraded to include lithium batteries. Of course, lithium is the best. If you don't have lithium, you probably have a Duracell or some other crappy battery in your golf cart. And you know what? They have clean golf carts, not these cheap-ass golf carts that you've seen around the island that break down and that need a paint job. And they're ugly, and they're riding on the sidewalk. These people that ride these golf carts know you're not supposed to ride a golf cart on the sidewalk. It's like having a street vehicle, people. You ride in the middle of the road. Not in the middle of the road, but on your side of the road, whichever side you're going. So the phone number is 844-FMB-CART. Isn't that catchy? 844-FMB-CART, or go to islandcartsfmb.com. Let me introduce our next guest coming down from the green room, where he's been chatting up a storm with our friends here at table. What table number is this, Sarah? Table number 1. We used to be at table number 23 before we got evicted from Times Square, but Eddie Rude is back for an appearance on Beach Talk Radio. And Eddie, certainly a controversial figure on the beach. I'm just kidding. It's been a while since you've been on the show. Where have you been?
How long has it been?
Well, you got it.
How long has it been, Ed? I don't even remember.
I don't remember. I try to
Last year.
forget the last time you were on the show.
I don't blame you.
Eddie Rude, ladies and gentlemen, owns a nice little house on the south end of the beach. How long have you owned that little cottage you're living down there?
12 years, 11 years, 12 years.
12 years. You also live somewhere else, like in a different state, like you commute back and forth.
Yeah, I live in Dallas.
Dallas, Texas.
Right.
You have a nice little cottage in Dallas, Texas, too?
Yeah, that's a nice house. Yeah.
Are you more of a Cowboys fan or something else?
I am a Cowboys fan, and it's so
Painful?
it is extremely painful. It's unbelievable.
Try being a Giants fan. Even worse.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
So you happen to live in front of the critical wildlife area, which has become quite a story over the last few years. Just a little bit of history for anyone that might not know. Eddie applied for a dune walkover, which is 742 feet long or something. I know I made a mistake one time. It's like 42 feet or something.
No, it's 290.
290 feet to get over the critical wildlife area to get to the beach, because at one point you had access to the beach and then something happened and where'd you go? And then your neighbor kind of blocked it off. He had a right to. He blocked it off, and you were left without having any access to the beach. You applied for a special exception to the town to get access by building a dune walkover, and the town told you to pound sand, literally. And that just set off a whole cascade of events. Is that accurate?
That's fairly accurate. Two points that I'd like to clear up there.
Sure.
It's not actually over the critical wildlife area. The critical wildlife area is just a little bit to the north of my property, and that was a part of the controversy. And the state of Florida asked us to move to our original design, to move it, in which we agreed to do. We didn't have a problem with that. And a lot of other things that they asked for, and we didn't have any problems with any of those. We went all the way through the state permitting process and the federal government permitting process, and had no indication from anyone that there was any problems. It was an arduous year and a half long process, and then just before the state was going to issue our permits, the town of Fort Myers Beach filed a lawsuit against the state of Florida to stop the issuance of the permits. And so that's when we realized that we were in for a battle, and that's where it started.
How many years ago is
that started? They filed their lawsuit against us. I believe it was in January.
Not against you, against the state.
Against the state.
Oh, a state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they filed the lawsuit. We were joint. We were joint defendants.
I got you.
So they filed a lawsuit against me and the state of Florida, and that, I believe, was in January of 2016.
All right, so it's 22. That's about 6 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Thank you. I didn't even need a calculator for that. I was calculating in my head as he was talking.
Oh.
So if we fast forward to now in June, which is really next month, the state and you guys are going to court because you believe that you have the evidence to show that you own the property behind your house. And if win in the lawsuit against the state, you will own the land in which the critical wildlife sits. And so let's just say that you do own the land. If you say, if you win the way you think you're going to win because you have the evidence, what will you do? Can you do to the critical wildlife area?
Well, let's clarify that what you just said right there.
Florida
law is kind of funny. We own the land, and we know we own the land. And so, and you've heard the controversy about us posting signs out there that we own the property, that it's private property. Okay. Florida law is a little different, I think, in the fact that it's not up to us to fight for the ownership.
Right.
We make the claim we own it. Now
Right.
it's up to the state to say
You
you
don't.
don't own it.
Okay, so
And that's where we are.
So,
And so to fast forward from there, from that point, the town is the one that questioned the ownership. The town is the reason why we ended up having to file this lawsuit to clarify the ownership, because several years ago, about 4 years ago, the town actually filed another lawsuit against Kurt and I to
Cromer,
prove,
your neighbor,
right, to prove that we didn't own the property. And we didn't want that controversy at the time, and we convinced the judge that it wasn't an issue. It wasn't a pending issue, and the judge agreed, and the judge threw the case out.
All right, I'm going to try and keep you from getting in the weeds too much,
Right,
but the
right.
question was, let's say you win the lawsuit, and now you have official title to the land that the critical wildlife sits on. Are you going to just take a bulldozer through it? Can you do that?
No, and we don't have any intention of doing that. The CWA, the designation of the area of the CWA won't be there anymore, because you can't have a state designated area on private property. And then to keep this in mind, there's also been some talk, well, that's fine, we'll just move the critical wildlife area boundary a little bit north so it's not in their property. Well, that dog's not going to hunt, because all of my neighbors all the way down to Leonardo Arms have the same deed that I have. And it says that we own the property to the waters of the Gulf of Mexico.
Do they have to go to court too, like you did, to prove it?
They will
with
have
the
to
state?
follow. They will have to ask the judge to determine the same way that was determined on my property. It's called setting a precedent. A precedent will have been set, and so it'll just domino all the way right on down, all from one end all the way down to the condos.
So even if you do own the critical wildlife area, you still can't build the walkover without the town's special exception,
unless we go to federal court. There is federal law that guarantees everyone's ingress and egress to any property they own.
Do you plan on going to federal court?
We plan on doing anything we have to.
So you can go to federal, you're saying you can go to federal court, win a court case against the town, and then build a walkover without the special exception?
A federal judge can order that the town allow us to build. A federal judge can do that.
Okay. So you're in an ADA lawsuit with the town. You can't talk about it a lot, probably not at all,
Right.
but the history of your disability is, at some point, I think you can talk about this. You got approval for something in the front of your house. You showed them that you were disabled, and you got something approved in the front of the house because you showed the town that you were disabled, correct?
That is correct.
Now you're in a different lawsuit that you can't talk about because it's still going on, where you're trying to say, okay, I'm disabled. I need a walkover to get to the beach. Is that the kind of lawsuit you're in now too? A different track?
Yes. Yeah. An accessibility issue.
Gotcha.
Both issues are accessibility issues.
Okay.
Right. So one of the things too that I want to point out now, and I wanted to come on the show so that the public would have a general idea of where we are now. So the situation has been forced, again, not something we wanted to do, over this ownership of this property. Kurt and I love the area down there. We love the wildlife. We bought those houses for a reason. The reason is they're not directly on the beach. We're set back some, and we did have direct access. There's no question of that. I think everybody agrees that we had direct access when we bought the property, with the exception of the town. Anyway, but through this impending litigation, what has happened, the forced a situation where we have had to go back, file a lawsuit to clarify the ownership of the property. And because of that lawsuit, now it has come up just recently that there is a beach renourishment program, and that that the state and the county and the town are trying to figure out how to stop the erosion and how to replace the sand in critical areas where it has eroded.
And let me, for those that don't know, and I'll come back to your part of it. The town is working with the county and the state on a $23 million beach renourishment project that they hope to get started next summer in 2023, and especially Leonardo Arms, which is a whole different story. I mean, they should do that right now, but they're talking about renourishing all of the beach from one end to the other end. And your situation with the critical wildlife area came up because if you own the land, the town has to pay for that. If the state owns the land, the state will pay for that portion. And it's a few $1 million that the taxpayers might have to add to the bill if you own the land.
That is correct. But let me clarify that also.
Can I just get one piece of information in today without you having to clarify it?
Well, I want
You have to get it right.
Well, I want
You
you
have
to know
to
the
get it
facts.
right.
Yeah, you're not that closely in tune, with it. I want you
Yeah,
to have
you're not.
I want you to have the information.
So what did he get wrong?
And no, he didn't get any of it wrong.
All
I just
right.
wanted to add to it. Okay.
Better said.
It's not about whether we own it or not that's holding up the beach renourishment. It's the fact the lawsuits are hanging out there.
Right.
They can't move forward as long as the lawsuits are hanging out there. So
They
at this
can't
point,
move forward with the beach renourishment.
they cannot. They can't move
hold
forward
on a
with the
second. Now,
permits.
that's not exactly accurate. They had no plan to move forward until 2023.
No, but
That's part of it.
They got to
can't-
have the permits.
Right, but they can't do anything until
Right.
your lawsuit is resolved. But they're not. It was never planned. Your lawsuit will be resolved next month.
No.
From what you say in
No,
June.
No, we're going to go over that in a second.
Okay, well, that's what I thought. You told me last time
Yeah,
it was
no,
going to be
it
resolved
changed-
in June.
It changed last week.
Okay, give us
Yeah.
an update.
Yeah, it changed last week. Anyway, back to what we were
I
talking
need a
about a
drink,
second
Eddie.
ago.
You make me have to drink.
Back to what we were talking about a
We
minute
need
ago.
a whiteboard with
yeah.
the John Madden thing.
The town has forced a situation, a precarious situation that Kurt and I wasn't aware of. And I want to be very clear that we weren't aware of it. We did not file these lawsuits just to stop the beach renourishment. We're in favor of the beach renourishment. Yeah, we're concerned about the people, the beach property owners, just like everyone else is concerned about them. And we would like to resolve this in short order so that none of them have to suffer any more distress than they've already suffered. Okay, saying that, the lawsuits. Mediation was scheduled for June. The trial was scheduled for July. Okay, there was some information that came out that required the state to ask for an additional court cycle, and so it was moved from July to August. Okay, last week there was some more information that came out from the state, which caused
When you
us.
say information came out from the state, they found something. Like, can
there's
you be any clearer about that?
Yeah, there's discovery that goes back and forth. One side wants
So
to know
they
what the other
discovered-
says.
Oh, okay.
And so our attorneys got some information from the state that we feel like bolstered our case immensely. And so now we have to send out more subpoenas and we have to do more depositions from state people in order to get additional information that we use in court. And so we asked for an additional court cycle, which would have put it off until September, but it appears the court was full. And so they put it off until October.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
You're losing. I'm starting to lose interest in the whole court thing, and I don't mean to. I want to stay
it's-
focused on the
it's
topic
boring.
here.
No, it's boring.
And the topic is that the question I have for you is, in your opinion, how much money have the taxpayers of Fort Myers Beach paid to fight you?
Ed, I'm not exactly sure. The last I heard, or the last figure that was indicated, I think it was over $500,000.
And your argument is, and a lot of people agree with you, that if you built a dune walkover or whatever the hell you want to call it, boardwalk, or it's not very long. I mean, it's not very wide. It's
No.
how wide is it?
It's 5 feet wide.
5 feet wide. It's not going to damage the birds, the nesting birds,
No.
right? That's what your argument it is.
Yeah.
That's what you have. Some people agree with you, but you don't have the Audubon on your side.
No, the Audubon is the driving force behind the town. They've convinced the town to continue this battle because the Audubon ran out of options and they lost. The Audubon filed 3 lawsuits against Kurt and I and lost all 3 of them.
So did you say what the dollar amount was? I glazed over
He
there.
said
Hundreds of thousands.
It's I think last I heard, I think that over $500,000 has been spent by the town.
Okay, so you have Ray Murphy, the mayor, who wants you to have the walkover, and
Right.
Dan Allers. So really, you're one vote away from. There's one vote on that town council from ending all this BS.
Has been ever since the
One
inception.
vote.
Yeah.
And there's an election coming up in November, and you're meeting with all the candidates. Do you think
I will? Yeah, I will be. And
are all the candidates in favor of moving this forward and getting you the walkover?
Ed, to be honest with you, I'm not sure, and I haven't really dove off into it full speed because I don't know who the candidates are.
Yes, you
Let
do.
me ask a point.
You know who the candidates
I
are.
don't know who the ones
You
are.
met with
right
John
now.
King. Is he in favor of your walkover?
He stated on your show that he was in favor of stopping
What
the
about
litigation
Ronco?
and
Is he in
spending the
favor
money.
of it?
He said the same thing. He's in favor of stopping. He doesn't want to spend the money. He
All right. What
says
about
it's-
So
Karen?
they could
Did you meet with
vote
Karen?
to stop it at
Yeah.
any point.
So, this is what I don't
I
understand.
don't know about
This is
Karen.
what I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why doesn't somebody just say, "Hey, let's put this on an M&P or whatever the process is, and let's revote.
Yeah.
Let's revote."
They can do that at any time they
Why
want to.
doesn't somebody do that?
Yeah, they can
do
do
you
it at
think
any time.
that there would be a change?
I think that as much as I love him, I think that's going to put Jim on record one way or the other.
right.
He's the
Well,
the
he's already
deciding
on
vote.
record. He is the
But
deciding
he
vote.
might.
He's already
But
on
he
record.
also knows. Okay, when you say the town is fighting you on this, there's no such thing as like the town fighting you. Who's fighting? Who's the driving force behind this?
When I say the
Who
town,
are the people?
Yeah, when I say the town, I'm referring to staff and council.
Be specific. Who's
Yeah.
your John Herron is
John Herron has his marching orders, and
he
he's
thinks
following them.
but he thinks he can win. He's convinced Jim that they're going to win.
Right, and where's he
Well, I
getting
don't
his
think he
information?
would have.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think any lawyer would enter into a
Really?
fight that they
Really?
thought they were going to lose.
Oh, really?
Oh, they do it all the time.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, we know they do
That's
it
how
all
they-
the time.
That's how they get paid. Here's the thing. I don't know what information John Herron had. I've been told that John Herron has said he has inside information. I don't know what inside information he has with the state that would be any higher than my inside information.
You getting some information there, some data there?
Well, that's what would come out in the discovery, right?
But
Is the information?
Justin Wolf is the head counsel of
Yeah.
DEP. Justin
call
Wolf is
him?
the head
Are you
counsel.
calling him now?
I could.
Call
Let me
him,
tell
see if
you
he'll come
why.
on the show.
I could.
Jesus, your letters are
There's his
gigantic,
contact
man.
Information right there.
Right.
You can't see this on the screen.
No,
No.
what are you doing? Were you showing me a contact? Wait, see,
There it is.
You have a
That's-
cell
that's
phone.
That's Justin Wolf's cell phone number.
what does that mean, though?
That
I mean,
means-
I have Byron Donald's cell phone number. That doesn't mean shit. When I call him, he lets it go right to voicemail.
Well, when I call him, he answers, and I
Byron
talk to him.
Donald's?
No.
Oh,
this
I
guy.
see.
No, he doesn't anymore. We haven't spoken in over a
I
year
see.
because we're involved in a lawsuit, and
Yeah.
he's part of the litigation that's defending the state, and so we haven't spoken in over a year. But we spoke plenty before the
Yeah.
litigation between
Well, he
us and the
can't talk
state.
to you now. I understand that.
Yeah.
So,
But here's the point.
Yep.
Murphy took it upon himself, and Murphy called him.
Yeah.
And Murphy
Yeah.
quoted to the council on 2 different occasions what Justin Wolf told him on the phone.
okay. I know. I agree with Ray on this. I mean, I think that it's costing the taxpayers an enormous amount of foolish money.
Right.
But what I don't understand is when Ray says that, it's like being in a morgue, though.
That's
It's
right.
like nobody does anything or nobody
Right.
says anything. Why doesn't somebody? Hey, can we take a new vote?
Ed,
Why take a vote?
Ed, why would you contact someone that has information that's contrary to what you want to hear? That's why Ray's the only one that's called him. You heard in the video, it's John Herron says, I'll call Justin Wolf. You know what? I know he didn't call Justin Wolf because I waited about a month and I called Justin Wolf and I asked him if he had been approached by anyone from the town of Fort Myers.
Did we
Beach.
finish talking about the beach renourishment?
That's why he
Yeah.
came on.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. The beach renourishment. Let me tell you. So the trial is going to be in October. Okay. I'm sorry. They say, okay, well, we're waiting for the trial. We're going to wait to see who owns the land. And then once we figure out who owns the land, we can move forward. Let me explain something. That's not going to happen because this could be tied up for years and years.
What, the lawsuit about
The
who owns the
lawsuit
land?
over the ownership.
Oh,
Right.
wow.
And so, and as long as it's in litigation, there will not be any beach renourishment. It won't
that
happen.
can't be.
All right.
I don't
And-
know if that's true. They could do beach renourishment around you.
I don't think so. We're a portion of it. We're
Right.
in it. And so the town will have to pay the 1.3 million.
No, my point is they could do this end.
I don't know with the
But
when
we're-
they
but
bundled
Leonardo
it with
Arms
the
is in the
erosion
south.
control line and everything.
Leonardo
I don't
Arms
know.
is an emergency
That's
situation.
right. But they are in-
That should have
special
nothing to do with
variance.
anything.
And-
That parking lot is falling apart. I can't understand
I'm
why
not
that's
arguing
not
that.
an emergency right now.
I don't understand either.
And should have nothing to do with
Right,
anybody.
right.
That's
I
dangerous.
tried to speak to the HOA president this week, and he didn't want to talk about it. He treated me like I was someone from the news media or something, that I was pumping him for information, and I wasn't. I was trying to get some information, so I thought maybe I might be able to help him. I don't understand why it's not an emergency. There should be a barge out there with a pipeline, and they should be putting sand up there right now. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that's not happening, and it's not going to happen because they are a portion of the south end of the renourishment, which is tied up in litigation. The permits can't be issued until it's determined whether the state property or private property, because the permitting is different if it's private property, and it's different
So
if
maybe
it's
they
state
would
property.
do different permits for different sections.
But you don't own the property in which Leonardo Arms sits.
It's in the third phase of the permitting.
Yeah.
I think you're trying to tie your property into that, and I don't think I don't know that it's 100% accurate, so I can't really argue with
If
you.
it wasn't accurate, Ed, that they would be moving forward with the renourishment.
They are
right
moving
now.
forward.
They're not. Let me explain something else to you. I don't know if you're aware of.
I'm aware of a lot of things,
right,
Eddie. I know you've tried to insult me, like I
No,
don't know
I'm
what's
not.
going on.
I don't ever.
All right, you have a couple more
I don't
minutes
ever.
because then we're
Okay.
moving on.
Right.
All right,
and
go
I
ahead.
agree. All right, so that the renourishment was going to start on Fort Myers Beach. There's another renourishment program at Lover's Key.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now I don't know. You may be aware of this. Now they're going to do Lover's Key first, and they're going to do Fort Myers Beach after. And the reason behind that is the county doesn't have the funds to pay for both projects at the same
that
time.
has nothing to do with your property.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You are.
The town is asking for a shitload of money, and that's not in the TDC funds right now. There is a trust fund that's set aside for projects this big, and the town is going through the process to get the money from the trust fund. Nothing has been slowed down because of your lawsuit. That's not accurate.
All right. The money that the county is providing, they have the money to pay for Lover's Key.
Okay.
All right. And
It's
so
not
they're doing
$23 million project.
The county is not paying $23 million, Ed.
Right. The county is paying a huge portion, a big portion of the Fort Myers Beach project.
How much?
I know what it is, but not off the top of my head. I have it written. I've written the story.
Around $3 million, $3.5 million.
But the
okay,
county.
So how much is the county spending on Lover's Key?
I just think that you're trying to tie your property into what's going on, and that's not true.
Well, I can tell you it is true because it's not happening.
I think this is going to be one of those we'll have to wait and see things.
Well,
Eddie, I watch the
come
TDC
October.
meetings.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't deserve the dune walkover.
Right.
I think you do.
Right.
But what I'm saying is you're trying to tie two things together, and it's not accurate. The town is going through the process to get the money from the county, from the trust.
Right.
Right
Well,
or wrong?
No, that's right. But why
Okay.
didn't they get it first like they were going to?
Because the county doesn't have that kind of money in the TDC funds. It's too much money. It's too big a project. It had
Okay.
nothing to do with your.
Right. Aside from that.
Okay.
let's-
Thank you.
Let's agree with that. Okay.
All right, we'll agree with
So-
that.
so-
I just want us to
right.
be accurate because
Okay.
I don't want you to seem like you're rolling me over.
Okay. All right.
Oh
That's fine.
my
That's all.
God.
Okay. All right. So but let's move forward.
Okay.
It doesn't make any difference because if the lawsuit continues after October, there won't be any permits for the third phase of the project.
That's probably fair.
Right.
Yes.
And that
But
litigation.
that's new. You're saying you originally told us it
Gentlemen,
might
you
end
have
in
1
June,
minute.
but
One
now you're
minute.
saying it could go on for years.
It
Now,
could. I'm not saying it will. What I'm saying is it could, and it puts the town in a position at some point they got to cough up the 1.3 million, whether they want to or
Right.
not,
And
because they can't wait on
explain
the
what the
litigation.
1.3 million is. That's the difference between the town having to pay for your area or the state paying for it because the state
Because
owns
the
property.
state can't pay taxpayer money on private owned property.
Right.
And the only option there is the town has to cough up the money. They're not going to be able to wait. If the litigation strings out over years, the town is going to have to pay the 1.3 million, whether they want to or not.
In the meantime, how are you getting to the beach?
I don't.
Okay.
I can't get
Because
to
you would
the,
have to walk.
I've got to go to the next closest public access to the north of me and then go out to I can't walk that far. And there's no parking at that access.
You're
So I
right
can't
about
drive
that.
up there and park.
All right.
What are the chances in November this all gets resolved at the election?
I think it'll get resolved before then. And I'm going to tell you why. The state, there's already some, what do you call it? There's already some pillow talk, what you might call, about a possible compromise over the ownership of the land.
All right.
And
Compromise is always good.
And we're told that they're wanting to go to mediation.
Who's they? Who?
The state. The state is wanting. Yeah, the state is willing and waiting to go to mitigation and mediation.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, not
To
mitigation.
mitigate this problem.
Yeah. No, it's to mediation, and that there's some pillow talk between how attorneys talk.
Who?
Yeah,
Your attorney?
Yeah.
So,
and the state attorney.
But your only resolution is the walkover. You only want the walkover.
Right.
That you have to have that.
Right.
But
so why doesn't the town? Let me ask you a question. There's another thing that I can't figure out, Ed. Why doesn't the town, with the renourishment tied up and the uncertainty and the amount of the money, the 1.3 million, the amount of the money that they're spending on the lawsuits for legal counsel, the amount of the money that they're looking at with the possible Bert Harris lawsuits from myself and all my neighbors, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars. Why? How can this walkover? How can you object to something that helps a neighborhood that you won't even be able to see from the beach? No one will even be able to see it, and risk all of the things that they're risking. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Other than I just think people don't care about it. That's the only answer I can come up with. People, they don't care about that issue.
I appreciate you coming on and updating. I don't like your little, you're fighting there, but thank you so much for coming on and updating.
It makes it interesting. I mean, people get.
I thought maybe you stood up there for a minute. I was like, here he goes.
He's not going to do a Ty Truax.
Yeah. No.
It's always
we
friendly.
know each other too well.
It's always friendly.
But the last thing that I want to point out, we're talking about the strength of my lawsuit. Okay. There's two parts of this lawsuit. One is whether the water's tidal and whether it's connected to the Gulf.
Right.
And because if it is, it has a mean high water line. The other portion of the lawsuit is about if it's navigable. Can you navigate on it? The state last week conceded that the water is non-tidal and there is no mean high water line at the rear of my property.
So that's one for you. Well, that's two for you.
The mean high water line is out on the shore.
All right.
Well,
and thank you for that.
You hear Bill Veach all the time. Well, those ponds are tidal. Well, the state conceded last week that they are not tidal.
I think part of,
as in the DEP.
Yes.
Or okay.
I think part of it too is that and I don't mean this in an insult in any way. I include myself. A lot of people don't understand all the technical stuff of not only the high tide water line, but the CWA and the state ownership and the ownership of the residents and titles and this and the whole thing. Some people just look at it like, okay, somebody said to me, and I said,
string this
I'll
out?
make dear. We got 4 minutes, by the way. I'll make it at the ending. I said, if Eddie and Kurt win the lawsuit, the CWA goes away. And the person said to me, who's a person in government, said, you know what? The birds are always going to come there, whether you call it a CWA or not. So, and so I'm like, okay.
So now all of a sudden it's not important anymore. But Ed, what about the state funding that the state pays the town for the upkeep of the critical wildlife area?
See, I didn't know that.
The annual funding that
goes
they get
away
from the state. Yeah, you're not going to get it anymore because there's no designated CWA.
And you're not allowed to count the birds anymore or anything like that.
Well, the bird people can. And here's the other side.
They can or cannot?
They can. We're not going to keep people off that. We're not going to bar access. Nothing will actually change.
Well, but I think not barring access, having people walk through that area is the issue when the birds are nesting, because the more people you have walking through there.
The birds do not nest anywhere close to where the walkover is.
But what about you? So you think they don't nest anywhere in that area?
They do not. It's been proven.
I don't think so, Eddie.
Oh, go back to the state hearing.
No fighting. No fighting.
Go back to the state hearing.
Don't aggravate them.
There were several bird experts on the state side and on the Audubon side.
And so did they come down and do the counts?
They did. And there were no endangered nesting birds.
How many birds were
area?
In that area. In the area.
You're dragging us on.
If they're endangered, I
want to talk about the birds, and it's a different story.
I think that
I want to talk about money, and you want to end it. You want to talk about the birds. Are there any gators in that thing?
No.
No gators.
There are no birds. There are no endangered nesting birds.
Crocodiles.
in the proximity
Can I
of
fish
the
there?
walkover.
Am I allowed to
No.
fish there with a
In the
bobber?
proximity of the walker, but I'm talking about the whole area.
What kind of fish are
Kim,
in that
the
thing?
But
whole
if you
area. What are
open
you
it-
talking about? The whole beach or what?
No, the whole CWA area, your
Oh, no.
neighbor's area.
Yeah, no, the birds nest to the south of us in the open sand.
There's seaweed
Well,
in that
they
thing?
put up a temporary refuge down there. Yeah.
Snook?
Yeah, that's where they nest.
Are there any snook?
I don't know.
And that
They're
was
all
proven.
down
That
there.
was proven in court, and we proved it in court.
What about ducks? Any ducks?
No,
No
we have.
ducks.
We don't have endangered species. We have ibis. We have.
Do you?
the
We had a
gray-
woodpecker on our palm tree in the back. Can woodpeckers kill palm trees?
You know, that's a good question because
Thank
I
you.
hear them. I don't have them on my property, but I hear them. We have them
I
down
feel like
there
a
also.
woodpecker's going to come and hit
Yeah.
me in the head, and that
we
would
had
be a
to
good thing
remove
right
the
now.
palm trees because they got poisoned.
Really?
She thinks it was from the woodpecker. Isn't
I
that
don't
dumb?
know. I don't know the answer.
You keep doing
Well,
this
what do
on
you
your
th- how do you
mustache.
think?
with the-
It'd be a good.
Why don't you get the Audubon on and ask
Yeah,
them?
you should look into that.
After the
Yeah.
last time you
We
were on
gotta
the
have
show
the
with
Audubon
Penny
on
Jarrett, she
next.
won't ever talk to me again.
That's
One
not
thing
funny.
I want to
She
say.
talks
This
to me.
is
I saw her
know.
one
just
thing
the
I want
other
to
Nobody
say
day.
in
talks to you.
closing.
In closing,
2 seconds.
right.
Go.
Jim, let me tell. I know Jim. Jim is a good person. Good
Jim
as
who?
Jim
Adderhole.
Adderhole.
oh, he is not.
He's a good person.
He is not.
He has good intentions.
Yeah.
He is in favor of promoting the island.
Yeah.
His ideas. I think I've listened to him.
Yeah.
I'm in agreement with him.
On
Okay.
what?
On the Renaissance, the stuff, you know,
Stuff.
everything. Yeah.
All right.
He's provided good leadership in all of those
But
areas.
he's clearly wrong on this.
He is, and he needs to take another look. He's not hurting Kurt and I any longer. Now he's hurting people that are in the community.
I'd like to call the question. That's what
You know,
they should do at the next meeting.
And he,
You don't have
and-
that right.
I
And he
don't.
needs to
I
take
have
a
no
second
rights.
look. My suggestion for the viewers, for the people that are here, whether you're a voter or not, it doesn't matter. You're a taxpayer. The email addresses for the council personnel, especially the mayor and Jim Adderholt, are on the town council website. I think they're even hyperlinked. I think all you have to do is click on them, and it generates an email that you can type
Isn't that
and send
crazy
to
how
them.
that's possible?
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
all modern. What do you call it?
Yeah.
Interweb.
Technology, yeah. Mhm.
Wherever the interweb does,
All
you know,
right.
whatever.
We,
Okay.
We'll let you go. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming all the way down here from your shack.
We'll let you go.
I mean, you got to get yourself a nice house down there. I mean, good
I
luck, though.
actually
Hopefully
almost
this,
parked at your house the other night.
hopefully this
You
will all
can park
coming
there
in
anytime
to an
you want.
end, and you and Jim come on the show together. And actually, we could do a show from your walkover. Jim and I will walk down at the
Yeah,
wireless
yeah.
mic and the whole
Yeah,
thing.
they'll have a ribbon cutting, and
Yeah.
you can run.
Wouldn't that
through
be
it.
cooler? A ribbon cutting.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
run.
Rexanne and Bill
You
Veach.
can
and-
Well,
run.
we're going to invite them all.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're
Okay.
not
You're dragging
enemies
this
of
on.
any of
You
them.
I didn't.
You had it.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
not enemies
Get
of
out of
any of them.
here, Ed. Get out of
All
here.
right.
Thank you. Eddie Root, everybody. Good luck with your Dune walkover. It's always fun and exciting to have Mr. Root on. Isn't that funny that he's got that kind of a last name? And he treats me like he treats me. Tells me I'm wrong all the time. I know it's spelled differently.
Thing is that we can
That's
agree
right.
to
That's
disagree,
right. And he's not going to be.
not get upset.
That's right. I'm not upset. Beach Pottery, everybody. Before we get to tomorrow is the official kickoff of turtle season. Yeah, man, it's turtle season. We're going to talk to Cindy about that real quick. Cindy Johnson, who's married to Steve Johnson, who still has a few weeks left before he actually says he's not running for town council. But I need to tell you about Beach Pottery because, you know, you have to pass Beach Pottery on your way to the beach. It's on the right-hand side, and you're going to get stuck in that traffic, and it's going to suck. But if you stop at Beach Pottery and you shop a little bit, you're going to see some really cool stuff. Not only do they have pots, but they have this guy in the back that does wood carvings, and they've got key lime pie. It's not wood carved key lime pie. It's actually real key lime pie that you can eat. Although I guess if you ask the guy in the back to carve some key lime pie, he could probably do that if you wanted him to. It's over an acre of pots. And what I like about Beach Pottery is the pots are from Vietnam. And from all the time I wished I'd spent in Vietnam, I at least can enjoy a pot from Vietnam because they make great pots in Vietnam. I bet you didn't know that is a fact, that everybody knows that, people. I'm sure even Eddie Root knows that pots from Vietnam are the bomb. They're the bomb pots. The turtle time people are here, everybody.
Yes.
A big round of
Come on
applause from our live studio audience, it's we're inside today because it was hot out there, and we have a fan that John Lalo paid $19.99 for this fan.
That
And
fan
it's
is
superb.
awesome.
Yeah, and
is
it was
awesome.
like I know he had to save up his money for a couple of weeks before he bought the fan, but it's nice. I don't think we could have a fan outside. Ladies and gentlemen, Cindy and Rose are here.
Mary Rose. Yep.
Mary Rose, get nice and close to the microphone, Cindy.
Mary
you know
Rose.
that by now.
Okay, I know.
I don't see any buckets or anything like that. Last time you were here, you brought a turtle for us to see.
Well, we
Somebody
don't have
did.
any hatchlings yet.
I see. Oh, it was
No,
a
not
hatchling.
yet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but they brought a quiz. I've been informed
Yeah,
there's going to be a
little
quiz.
game for you instead of
Yeah.
just talking.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
you guys, a little
What
competition, actually.
what are the gifts that we're giving away, Cindy?
I'm not going to tell you. It's in this bag.
Okay.
Oh.
Before that, I have to ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
You're married to Steve Johnson.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, congratulations are in order for
Yes.
the Mulholland
Mulholland.
Award winner.
We have been waiting
Well
weeks.
deserved.
Yes.
Yeah.
To
Well
get that
deserved.
out to you.
Now,
so.
don't try and say that you're not going to get it on Monday or that there's a chance you won't. You're the only nominee.
I
You're
know.
getting the award on Monday. And for those that don't know, Mr. Mulholland was the mayor at
He
some
was a
point.
mayor.
And there's an award named after him for, I don't even know what it's for. It's for some kind of
Service to the beach.
service to the beach.
Service to the beach. Because Cindy is one of our major assets.
Yes.
Well, I think it
She's
has
a
an
dynamo.
environmental aspect
Right.
because he actually wasn't he one of the
Right.
founders of the Marine Resources Task Force
Yes.
before he was mayor. But I never met Mayor Mulholland, but we moved in next to his widow, Nancy, and she was like family to us.
Hmm.
But I have no idea what Mayor Mulholland's interest was in the environment, and I don't know that much about him. So anyone who does, please talk
Give
to
her
me
a
about.
tutorial.
Yeah, talk
Well,
to me
you
about
should
him.
probably just call Anita. She knows everybody.
I know.
And
Oh,
knew
I know for
everybody.
sure. Anita knows everything about
Now,
him.
I know.
did you say that he passed away or his wife passed away? Or?
No, he passed away before we moved
Okay.
next door to his wife.
Gotcha.
So we've never met him.
So you'll be accepting this big giant plaque or something, right? Or
I
what
think
Yeah.
it's a leaf on the tree in the.
Yeah, there's a sculpture inside the chamber on the wall, and it's a mangrove tree, and all of the leaves are spaces where the recipients
Very
get
nice.
Very
get
nice.
a leaf.
Who are some of
So
the past
Cindy will
winners?
be added.
Do you know who some of the past winners are?
I know Anita.
Of course.
Anita's
won every
I
award
think
there
Seal
is.
Spuler has
Of course.
won, and
of course.
a number of people whose names we should definitely remember and thank them for
Can
all
you
they've
put
done.
my name in for next year just to
No.
see? I'm a turtle
No.
enthusiast. I could
No.
be
You
a.
are now.
I mean, I've written some very nice stories about the
Yes,
environment
you
and the
have.
turtles.
You've
And
come a long
how
way.
dare you
You're a
question my
liar.
environmental?
You're a liar.
Do you guys remember the Indian that used to cry over the pollution?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
What was his name?
that I don't know.
It was probably Chief Wahoo.
I
or
doubt
something
that is
like
on
that.
your quiz.
It's
No,
today.
not.
we
it's
don't
just
know about that.
nesting
They need to
turtles.
bring back the Indian.
They do.
Yeah.
So
Well,
nesting turtles,
I-
the season starts tomorrow.
And that's why
officially,
we're
right?
here.
Yes.
We want to remind people about what they can do to keep the turtles coming back here. And because these turtles don't ask very much of us, but what they do ask is very important so that we have the maximum number of nests, because that will mean the maximum number of eggs, the maximum number of hatchlings, and that's how we save this species. So all we're asking is that your furniture be off the beach at dusk and not return to the beach until the morning time, because sea turtles, if they bump into it, will be dissuaded and turn around and go back, or possibly even get stuck underneath the furniture because they have no reverse.
Nope.
And if a turtle goes underneath the chair and gets stuck, she will carry it right back into the water and it will drown her. And then we have to talk about lights.
Wait.
out.
Let's focus on that for a second because
Okay.
there's a lot going on with all that.
There sure
Now,
is.
In the perfect world,
There would
there'd
be-
be nothing on the beach
Exactly. Ed.
from dusk
Like
until
150 years ago,
Right.
turtles didn't have to worry about
right.
lawn
And
chairs.
then man came along and pushed the Indian out and pushed the turtles out. So now
Reclusa.
and invented electric lights. and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
the goal is to get all the furniture back to the area where there's a dune or in the road or something. But
Yes.
Behind a dune would be preferential because the turtles, they go up, they'll they'll crawl up seawalls and nest under people's houses too.
Can a turtle really crawl up a seawall?
They
Like
do.
they can
Yes,
crawl
they
straight
can.
up?
Oh,
So
it's
where the-
astonishing.
Crazy shit.
Where
right
there's
there.
not a dune, then it just needs to go inside, or
Yeah, what's the rule there?
If so, obviously now that whole ordinance is going to be rewritten. So
okay.
and
So somebody-
we are having a beach renourishment coming up, and I think it is the town's preference to put dunes in with the beach renourishment, so there
Yeah.
is a safe place for turtles to nest, and they stop going onto people's property.
Okay.
And
Okay. So
Right.
I don't want you guys to get into the politics,
No.
but part of the issue with the ordinance has been the jet skis and the things like that they have to be moved back. But
Yeah.
somebody brought up other points, like everything man-made needs to be moved off the beach, right? And that doesn't that include the posts that are put in the ground at Lynn Hall Park?
okay,
They should take those out and move those back. Or the pier is a man-made object.
Well, we're not going to get 100% compliance. You don't get 100% on anything. We're
Exactly.
talking about the big, obvious things that are easily removed.
yes,
Yeah.
People remove their furniture. We don't really have a problem on the south end of the beach with the vendors. They know enough. They comply. No problem at all. But it's the individuals who come here and aren't really familiar with turtles and think it's okay to leave their stuff because they know they're coming back the next
the
day.
morning,
Please don't
right.
do that.
We had Ben on from Tuna Skin, and they do the beach cleanup, a lot of beach cleanups. It's amazing the amount of garbage alone that could
Yep.
be a
Right.
problem
That's
for the
right. Yeah.
turtles.
And the
carry in,
holes.
carry out. We
And the
would
holes.
have.
And fill the holes. I mean, I'm out there. Sometimes I'm running. It's like you really got to jump over.
They're dangerous, right?
Yeah.
People have the misconception that the high tide is going to come in and wash everything out. In
Oh.
fact, that does not happen
Right.
here on the West Coast. You need to clean up after yourself. And we need to talk about lights because lights are a big problem because they're so
Right.
easily acceptable on
Next,
everybody's
one
phone.
One more question
Okay.
on the
Yeah,
on the
okay,
sand,
one
then we'll
more.
do the lights.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys go out every morning now,
Every
starting
morning.
tomorrow. At what time? And you're going from one end of the beach to all the volunteers.
yeah, all the
Right.
volunteers.
What is
We
te-
have different zones.
Explain
so, yeah.
explain what you do.
So we all probably start at different times because some zones are bigger than others. So we usually go out
Daybreak,
by
we say.
daybreak.
Be out there at daybreak because
6
otherwise
o'clock,
you can't see.
6:15, and try and hustle down the beach because you never know who you're going to run into that's going to want to chat for a while. You never
we
know
look
what
for
kind of
turtle
work
signs.
you're going to.
And then you're walking along.
And your
And
job
we
is
look
to
for
do
the
what?
sign.
Looking for
You're
the
looking
tracks,
for the tracks.
Okay.
coming out of the
Mhm.
water. And then, so for the walkers doing the morning survey, we have flags to put at the end of a false crawl, which is when a turtle comes up and decides not to nest and goes back into the water. Those all have to be measured. We measure the width of the tracks. We note any deformities in the crawl and try to know what that turtle
So
is.
Collect
no-
a lot of data.
So
a
no-
lot of data, all data collecting. It all has to
I
go
don't
to
know.
the state.
I
This
know.
is not-
No, I don't know why the microphone's not working. I think it was because I don't know. It's not working as loud as it usually does. You're fine
Okay.
though. It's fine.
Okay.
So Cindy, the object for you guys is to get as much of this beach done so that people can start to move their stuff out, right?
Exactly, right.
They're not allowed to move their stuff out until 9 o'clock if you're not there, but you try and get it done earlier so they can start setting up. Correct?
Yeah, they're all in communication with Eve,
Okay.
and she tries to let them know as soon as we're done with our zone, we text Eve or call Eve, and Eve
Right.
lets
Gotcha.
them know.
It's a
And think about,
process.
As
think
soon
about
as,
the
yes.
coordination that requires
sure.
because we've
Right.
got what 8 miles of beach or 9 miles of
7.
beach, 7 miles, and all of that has to be covered every day, every morning, whether it's raining or
Right.
storming or sunny. We need to go out there and see who came up and what she did,
Yeah.
and report on any situations. You know, if someone has left their cabana out because it was broken and they were too lazy or inebriated to remove it.
Yeah.
We need to
Probably
make
the
sure
latter.
that
Right.
we call the town and they come and help us
Yeah.
out and
Take
get
it out
that
of there.
stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
So
and we
what-
all pick up garbage.
So there's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
coordination that goes on.
So we're going to talk about the lights, but explain. It's so fascinating to hear what these turtles do. Like these monster turtles, like how
Right, 300 pounds
300
easily.
pound turtles come out of the water,
hmm
starting on May 1st, it clicks in their mind that May 1st we can
Well,
start to come out of the water.
No,
Some
they
are
can come
already,
out.
yeah, some are already coming up.
And
they
they-
nested
The water
in
temp.
Sanibel. They
The
nested
water
on
temp is a lot.
Barefoot
Okay.
Beach.
Barefoot
See,
Beach,
they're reptiles, so they respond to temperature. Ed, is a major thing.
Yeah.
And so they,
When the water gets warm, that's when we start looking for them.
how far out of the water do they come?
How far out?
Yeah. Or they not come out at all? I mean, I'm trying to
What do
How
you
far
mean?
out?
How
do
far do they
crawl
come
up
out?
on the beach?
Yeah.
Oh
It doesn't matter. They can anywhere.
no, in
Why are you
Do
looking
over
at me?
there-
Because
over
we don't
there,
understand
they'll
the question.
crawl until they find a place that they find is suitable to nest.
How do they
So-
know what's a
So
suitable
they've
nesting
gone all
spot?
the way from, I don't know, have you been down there in front of like the Island Winds area?
I don't get out a lot.
That's like
I think
That's
smell
like
has a
playing
lot to do
football
with it.
600 feet,
Okay, so the turtle,
800 feet. They've nested all the way back by the seawall
Yeah.
there.
so the turtle comes out of the water,
Yeah.
find a
Right.
place to dig a hole.
But
Yep.
you know, she doesn't just pop out. She's gonna be maybe 20 yards out in the water, and she's gonna pop her head up, and she's probably gonna smell.
Mhm.
And if she smells something that dissuades her, she will turn around.
Hmm.
She's going to smell to make sure she's coming up on what
So
will
you
be
should
an
not
acceptable
be-
beach for her.
You
Okay,
should
so-
not
Or
be on
if
the
the-
beach
or if
when
We
there's
can't
too
get
much
personal,
light.
Kim.
Or if
So
there's
what
too
time?
much light.
So the turtle comes out, plops in the sand, digs how deep?
As deep as my arm.
Yeah.
Okay, and just sits there.
No.
Lays
Well,
lays eggs there.
Lays the eggs.
How many eggs? About.
About 100 on
100
average.
eggs.
About 100 on average.
Okay, she gets up and
The,
says,
the most I've ever counted is like 140, and
Wow.
the least is about 87,
so
I
the,
think.
the turtle did some deed in the water with the male and got
And that's,
pregnant.
that's called a clutch, and it's happened a number of times,
Yeah.
and it's happened over a long period of time.
She can
too.
take a love beating, is what
I,
you're
I
saying.
bet she loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so the turtle comes in, drops the eggs, out
Crawls
back out,
back
back
and it's
out.
quite
Hold
an
on.
effort for her.
Does
she
she-
camouflages the nest.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean camouflages?
Covers it up.
Pops it
With
up
just sand, or she goes gets dunes and
with
Oh my
sand.
God.
sand? Okay.
So one of the interesting things about the actual crawl and the way they camouflage the nest is each species of turtle has a different crawl.
Hmm.
Some do it parallel, pull themselves up,
Mhm.
and some are alternating.
Cool.
The width of the crawl kind of tells us which species
Right.
it is. And
So
they
that-
camouflage the nest differently too.
I see. So that mama turtle goes back out in the water. Is she looking for love again, or is she
Mm-mm.
done for the season?
It's a possibility, but she's
Yeah.
probably made it a number of times over
Yeah.
the last year or two.
Yeah.
All of
yeah,
that.
she
Oh,
knows.
thanks so much.
So she's back out in the water. Then what the hell is she
oh.
doing? Heading back to Key West at 90 miles an hour?
No,
No.
and she nests an average of 5 times during the season, the
Oh,
same turtle.
and that depends on what she finds when
You're
she
trying
goes
to
back
explain
out
this
there.
to him.
Dear,
It's
this
not
is
gonna
an
happen.
It
interesting
is true.
stuff.
All of your interruptions are not helping us, Ed.
No, this
Yeah.
is interesting to me,
Yeah,
though,
no,
because I
okay,
don't
all
think
right.
everybody
But you're not
understands the
listening.
process of a turtle.
All right.
Yeah, he's
So
okay.
she's good. She's capable of laying multiple clutches during the course of a season.
All right,
We'll
forgive
say
me.
6 is an average.
So she goes back out
She
to
goes
the water.
back out in the
comes
water,
back in.
and
and
she's
comes
going
back
to-
every 10 to 14 days.
Why not do it all at once?
because she
The eggs probably
Yeah.
need to get ready.
Oh, I
Right.
see. Gestation.
She's got a supply of eggs inside her, but only a small fraction of them will develop at a time. That's called a clutch.
You keep
So
saying
one
that.
clutch is about
I see.
100, but she's probably got 1,000 of them in there, and she's got a supply of sperm in a separate sack,
Oh.
so that the eggs don't even get fertilized
go.
until
Interesting.
just before she
So
lays
let's
them.
say she goes back out into the water and the male's feeling
She
his oats.
doesn't.
No.
No,
She doesn't
No,
make-
this is the
She
point.
doesn't
But
need
does
that
she like,
mating.
hey,
She's already
get
done her
off me.
She's
mating.
already got it.
She's
I know.
already
done it.
She's got her supply of sperm already
She's
stored in
done.
her.
That's not my point. My question is, if the male turtle's feeling horny,
No,
tries to
They
jump
could-
on
they're
her,
done.
good.
is she whacking him away?
Well, I certainly
could.
hope so. I
Yeah.
don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
yeah,
She's
we're not
had-
going
Well,
to
I mean-
begrudge her
She's had
another
enough.
mating. Although I don't know if she gets much pleasure out of it. But anyway,
She's
I
had
think this
enough
has
at
all
that
happened
point.
in the past.
Yeah.
Over when she was, a couple of months ago. She's just hanging out, eating now.
How long does it take a male turtle and a female turtle to mate? What's
They're
the
turtles.
process?
They do things very
Quick.
slowly.
Oh,
Dear,
okay.
they have
Good
some
answer.
issues
Good
they
answer.
want to get out. So you want to talk about the lights.
Because that's another thing that it's very important that we
Turn
ask
them
people to
off.
cooperate.
You know,
Shut
one
your
more
blinds.
one more
Kim,
thing
you could
about
say
the
that
sand.
again.
Let's see, one more thing about the sand issue. I think people and the whole what do I want to say?
I don't know.
Um habitat.
Yeah.
The turtle habitat is protected. The whole turtle habitat.
That means the entire beach
The
is what
beach
you're saying.
everywhere. And there's no exceptions for anything that isn't, there's no exceptions. It's not the town's rule. There's no exceptions because these are endangered and threatened species.
Let me ask.
Taking a certain area and saying that's going to be just for something else.
Do you have proof that there's been a nesting at Island Winds? Do you have picture proof of that? Because
That there have been nesting in front of Island Winds?
yes.
There's been nests in that area.
Okay. Because the folks
but
at Island Winds say there's never been a nesting there.
Okay, another thing to know about that area is that there's a lot of light. Turtles may nest where there's light, but lighting discourages nesting turtles.
And it disorients them.
But it discourages nesting.
Good segue for the lights. You wanted to talk
Okay.
about the lights.
ahead.
Now, the deal on the beach is starting tomorrow, your lights need to be off. There's just no
Unless they're narrowband amber LED lights.
Okay. Because the turtles aren't disoriented from the narrowband amber LED lights for some reason. Right?
Right. They can see that color, but they don't react to it.
Is that proven through some kind of testing,
Of course.
FWC testing?
Yes, the FWC, they are the scientists,
I
and
see.
they are
They've
the
been
ones that
studying
make the
turtles
rules.
forever.
Yes.
Yep. Turtles are a deep water species. They're very, very sensitive to light. If you look at the skull, which I didn't bring with me this time, you see
Yeah.
their eye orbitals are massive so that they can gather all the light possible when they're down deep in the water. So what happens when they come up and they break the surface is they're gathering all the light that we artificially have turned on. And it's very difficult for them to stay focused and
pupils
to
are
not be
big, too
disoriented.
much.
Mm-hmm.
So
much.
the way we can help them is to make sure that all of our lights are off.
Or
Close
your
the
blinds
curtains.
are shut.
So-
Absolutely.
You guys have been kind of going up and down the beach the last few weeks to see how things are going. Tomorrow's the payday. How are things the last few days? Are people starting to comply?
Yes.
Wow, we've been,
Yes,
people
I think
people
so.
are, making adjustments.
I think in general, people want to do everything they can.
Right.
What happens is some people forget.
Right.
You know, they're in a hurry to make their reservation for
Maybe
dinner
they
and they
should
don't
have
close
an
their
alarm
curtains.
that goes off on the town
Well,
at like
You like
when sun goes
a
down.
tornado alarm.
And like,
Yeah.
and then everybody would be reminded to shut their.
Yeah.
Or you know what?
Too bad
Well,
turtles don't make a noise. We could just magnify
Maybe they
it.
could send out an alert to people's phones. I don't know. There's got
That's
to be
what we're doing.
something.
That's why we
one
have
thing
you.
to do is to just use wildlife friendly lighting
Good-
because it is a pleasant type
Good
of light.
idea, Cindy.
And that is one way because it's
Good
not,
And you don't
idea.
have to worry about it.
as Steve always says, this isn't about the turtles. The artificial light actually affects everything
All of us,
around us,
including
including
us.
Well,
us.
that
Come
would
on.
be good for the
It does.
Come on.
outdoor light.
Stop
Yeah, the
it.
outdoor
but
light.
inside, you still got to shut
Yes,
shut
you
it
do.
down.
Yeah.
Right.
Sandy, do you think the 15% window tinting was a little overkill for Island Winds?
The-
Not
the
Island
fif-
Winds, but
well,
all the condos.
The 15% window tint is recommended by the FWC.
It's not
because of-
required by the state, though.
well,
45
it's-
is required by the state, correct?
anyone can. You can take them. That's the model ordinance.
Right.
So you can take the model ordinance and do what you want with it.
You didn't answer my question. Why not just do
The town
0%?
can't. I mean, I'm not the ordinance person.
Oh,
We're
I
the
see how you're
turtle
skirting
time-
the question.
No,
We're just
I'm
talking
not-
amongst friends here.
No, I'm not. No, I'll answer your question.
Oh, okay.
The 45% will not block the light.
It will if you
And-
keep your drapes closed at night.
Well, yes, that's true. But we're not the ordinance people.
Who is the ordinance people?
The town.
Yeah. They're going to reverse that next week?
I don't know what they're going to do.
I think they are.
They're-
gonna
they
reverse
have a
it.
lot of options in their agenda packet. So
Yeah. That
The
comes
point
out 2
is
days
for
before the meeting,
everybody
by
to
the way.
shut their blinds.
Yeah,
or
shut your
turn
blinds
off
and
their
you won't have to
lights.
worry about
Can we
it.
remind people about what to do if they are lucky enough to encounter a sea turtle?
Yes. What do
Stay
they do?
away.
Exactly.
Observe from a distance.
Exactly.
And
And,
turn
don't
your
get
damn
in
phone light
between
off.
the turtle and whatever she's doing, especially if she's returning
Don't
to the
take
water.
a picture.
That's right. No flashes, please. And the same thing with hatchlings. They do not need anyone's help to get into the water.
No.
Now, we won't have hatchlings for a couple of months, but
I
there's
see.
a possibility that in a couple of months, people will come upon a clutch that has just emerge from the sand and they're making their way to the water. They're so cute. They don't need your help. Let them go,
They're
please.
fine. They're eating. They're fine.
If you
Relax.
see something, you can always report it to Turtle Time.
Yes. So
but
now
don't take it upon yourself.
Yeah.
a rough
to do
estimate.
anything.
How many nests do we have last year?
We only had 87.
87
Wow.
nests, which spawn how
Which
many?
is 50 less than the previous
Well,
year.
I think our hatch rate was extremely low because we have a tropical storm or
Mhm.
something that goes by at the end of May and takes out the first batch of nests. Last year we had some huge storm that came at the beginning of July. Well,
Right.
yeah.
So how many-
dozens of our nests didn't even
many-
You can
develop.
think about nests, and some of them are washed over and some of them are washed out.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can be washed over, which means the wave comes up and it covers the nest and then pulls back out, and the water does not collect in the bottom. If they're washed out, everything gets sucked out. All
And
the
they're
eggs
dead.
disappear.
They're
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah,
Now,
well,
if
they're
it
not
gets
gonna
washed
develop.
over
Yeah.
and there's water in the nest,
Yeah.
the ones that get stuck in the water, remember these are air breathing. They're amphibians, but they're air breathing.
Mhm.
Even when they are in the shell, they need to have access to air. That's why the eggs are not packed in there. So the ones that are in the water might drown, but the ones on top will be
Okay.
viable.
It's
Uh,
so
but last year
it's
that
such a
didn't happen.
complicated
And I can
process.
give you
that's
some numbers
why
if you want
need-
numbers.
That's
Yeah,
why
how
people
many-
need to leave them
Okay,
alone.
we're not
'cause
talking
it
about
is a
the people,
complicated process.
lady, Miss Hair Lady.
When in previous years, now we know how many hatchlings we release because when a nest hatches, we
You
wait
count.
3 days, we dig up the nest, and we count the shells. So we know how many got out. We know from our statistics that we get into the water over 85%.
What's the
of
number?
our
Give me a
hatchlings.
number. Give me-
I'm
okay.
leading to
All
it
right.
because last year we didn't do that 85%.
Oh.
Because of our early storms, we were closer to 55%, which
Right.
we're
Hatch
almost
rate.
embarrassed. But then we look at all of the statistics from this whole area, from Sanibel all the way down to
Mhm.
Bunch. And we see that we're still within that average
Mm.
range, so that I can tell you that we had 87 nests. A lot of them were affected by early storms, but we still managed to get 7,000 hatchlings from
Dude,
Fort Myers
dude.
Beach into the water.
Fort Myers Beach.
7,000.
Yes.
You guys are
I
gonna.
think
You guys
that
can
was
argue.
from all at Turtle Time.
You guys
I
can
don't
argue
think
later.
so.
So 7,000 of those
Right.
little
But
itty
the
bitty
cat
turtles.
Is
Hatched.
only between 1 and 4 of them will live to adulthood.
That's
Right.
what I
So
was
you're
going to ask
talking
you.
between 7 and 28 turtles.
Out
So
of-
you're not going to get either extreme. It's somewhere in there.
Out of 7,000 turtles,
Right.
how many lived?
How many will live to adulthood?
Maybe
Between
seven.
maybe 7.
All of that effort for
All of
7
that effort.
turtles.
That's
Which is why
it's so important that every hatchling gets to the water
Right.
and not
7,000.
straight to the water,
Right.
not
What-
any detours.
Because the minute they get out into the ocean, they're bait.
Right. They're like a little Oreo.
How does
They're like a
the
little
one
Oreo.
out of the how does the one out of the 7 how do the 7 out of the 7,000
They-
survive? I mean,
They camouflage themselves in that sargassum.
they're like you don't. Are they
swim?
are they
as
swimming
fast as they
last
can.
in the bunch or first in the bunch?
It does.
It's
it
luck.
depends.
It's probably
Yeah.
like a bird flock.
It just
the
doesn't
ones
seem-
on the outside are the most vulnerable, but they don't stay together, Ed.
I see.
When
They're on
you
their
see
own.
them
Yeah.
come out, they don't go in a straight line like ants.
Who eats
They
the
fan
turtles
out.
the most? Which fish?
Everything.
All of them.
Everything.
All of
Everything
them.
eats.
I mean,
everything.
It can't be tasty with the hard shell and the whole thing.
I-
And
Well,
I mean,
I don't
how
know about
tasty
that.
could it be?
Filled with vitamins and
Have you guys
Yeah.
ever eaten
vitamin
one?
D. No,
no,
Never
we
had
don't- I
turtle?
don't eat reptiles.
No.
no.
Uh-uh.
I
Can
see.
you please take
Steve
a break?
probably has.
Let's
but
do
now
the.
that now
Steve
that
ate
you-
a turtle?
We've given
Not
you
a
all
sea
this
turtle.
information.
He's never
Take the
going to win
quiz.
town
Not a
council
sea
now
turtle.
if he eats sea turtle. Said
You want to see if you can win this prize?
yes. What's the
let's do
prize?
this.
Okay, well, it's a contest.
We're not
between
telling you the
guys.
prize.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not having a tattoo, by the
Some
way.
of these are easy.
All right.
It's not. This is the prize. That's not a tattoo.
Speaking to
All
the mic, Cindy.
Why is it important to keep beachfront lights off and shades pulled shut during nesting season?
Because turtles will die.
So
Artificial
turtles don't
lights-
get
I can
disoriented.
give- okay.
What kind of question
my-
is that,
All
Cindy?
right.
Hit me with
I'm
something
gonna
hard.
give you-
Well,
Come
these
on.
are multiple choice.
Jeepers
Okay.
creepers.
Go ahead, Mary Rose.
Okay. What determines the sex of a sea turtle hatchling?
Penis.
Nope. The temperature.
And inside the nest,
Yep.
exactly. So the
you
warm
helped
ones
her. Wait,
develop.
You
She
weren't
helped
even
you.
close.
Nice
Okay.
job.
do
Kim.
turtles have
The
penises?
warm ones Do they what?
Have penises?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
Yes, they do.
Yes,
Thank you.
but they keep them hidden.
Not touching that one at all.
Have you ever
At
touched?
all.
Have you ever
Literally
touched
and
one?
figuratively.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, this is multiple choice.
Okay,
Okay.
I like
How do
those.
female sea turtles pick a nesting beach? TripAdvisor, they have a magnetite crystals in their skulls that act as a GPS, leading them back to the beach they hatched on, the beach with the least trash, or the beach with the nicest shells.
B.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, Ed asks.
I didn't even. Wow, that was
Yeah.
good. I
Because
didn't
I'm
even.
smart.
It's 1-to-1, I think.
Yeah.
All right. What percentage
2 to
of
1.
eggs will typically survive if a nest is undisturbed?
55%,
Yeah, you didn't let this here.
Remember, that was an off year.
87%.
85%.
I think we're going with 90, but I'm going to check.
I said 87,
No, wait.
so that makes a win for me.
About 90% of them.
3
Dear,
to
you
1.
didn't even let her finish reading this.
They're on Jeopardy. When they're on Jeopardy, do they
Yeah,
have to finish
okay.
the
You
question?
don't have
They
to.
just buzz in.
Okay, so what's the score?
3 to 1, Ed.
It's
Oh.
not 3 to
Wait a
1.
minute. Wait a minute.
Okay, if you spot a nesting sea turtle on the beach, you should.
Call Chad.
No. Don't
Leave
call
it alone.
Chad's at home in Marco Island. Shine a light on the beach to illuminate the turtle's
No.
way.
No.
Take pictures using flash
No.
for Instagram. Sit still and quietly.
Yes.
Okay.
You're a cheater.
Oh,
You're
now.
looking
I
at-
think it's 3 to 2.
3 to
now.
2.
Okay, Rose?
All right. How big is a sea turtle egg?
Go ahead and give them the options.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right. As big as an apple, as big as a tennis ball, as big
Tennis
as
ball.
a pea,
No.
or as big as a ping pong
Tennis
ball.
ball.
Ping pong.
Don't
Oh,
be in a
ping pong.
rush.
Ping pong.
Yes.
It's ping pong.
Oh, I'm a turtle expert.
I thought she was going to say beach ball.
4 to 2. One more question,
All right.
because I can't
Oh,
lose
this is
then.
going to be a little difficult. When
For you,
female
maybe.
turtles are nesting, they shed tears and look like they're crying, but the turtle is really crying because she will never meet her babies, secreting extra salt from her body, keeping flies and small bugs out of her eyes, crying because of all the trash in the ocean.
See,
B.
B.
Boom.
4 to 3.
I think so.
Come on, I got to go to the bathroom. Let's go. One more question.
Okay.
Okay, what do you call a sea turtle nest?
Oh, you should know that 'cause
Hatchling.
she told you.
Oh, a clutch.
A
Yes.
clutch. No wonder
I
she
didn't even
was
have to
leading
read
us
all the
on.
choices.
And this game ends in a tie.
Okay.
So,
All right. I just need to. There's one more thing I
come
have
on, I
to
got to go to
say.
the bathroom in the worst
I
way.
know, but Richard, one of your fans,
Oh,
said
who's
you
fan?
guys never say where all the amber streetlights are in Florida. So I
Huh?
made a little list here.
Let it-
Pensacola, Escambia County, Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Delray Beach, Anna Marie Island, Holmes Beach, Cocoa Beach, St. Pete Beach. And then in Pinellas County, we know that they put up white LED lights down the whole Pinellas County coast, and now they have to change them all to amber. So Treasure Island, Indian Shores, and Redington Beach already have replaced their white lights with amber LED street lights, or they're on their way.
Do you know why
All
we've
right.
never
Fort
said
Myers
that?
Beach is going to have
Nobody
amber.
cares.
Yes,
I don't
they
think
do.
anyone
They ask
cares.
all the time.
But they don't ask us all the time. Now they know, though.
Well, he
They
told me
asked.
that was stupid that we've never said it. So there you go,
There you
Richard.
go.
All right.
We
But
figured
there's one
that
more
out.
thing I'd like to say, and that's a
Please.
hearty thank you to
No,
Ed-
thank
Ed
you
and
guys.
Kim.
It's
Oh,
always
you're
fun.
so
We
nice.
always have a great time with you
So
guys.
what was the
You know
gift?
what we like
Oh,
about
well,
you is
Ed
that you
wanted-
get people talking.
Thank
He
you.
didn't win it.
We want
What
them
is the
talking.
prize?
I won it.
Okay.
We're gonna
Oh,
split it.
look at that. That's very nice. You don't
We're
want.
gonna split it.
Oh yeah. Oh no, we can't split that.
No,
It's
you
a
can't
license
split
plate
it.
thing.
No,
Show
you can
show
argue-
our 9
and
listeners.
don't argue about
Very
it.
nice. Very nice. Where'd you guys get that?
It wouldn't be us. We didn't do that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, they have turtles on it. That is cool. I wish you would have brought 2. I would have put that on.
It's
mine.
definitely a good luck charm.
Yeah. Thank you guys, and
You're
good luck
welcome.
tomorrow.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your help,
Continue your
Ed.
good
Keep
work.
the turtles safe, and thank you guys
Okay.
for putting
Thank
up
you
with
so
Kim's
much.
And
crap.
thank you to all of
you.
you that are out there helping us too.
Yes. Turn your lights
job.
off.
All right. We got one more guest, folks, if you can believe that. It's going on. We're going to talk to one of the producers from the
He's the
Film
screenwriter,
Festival,
but here we
and
go.
going to do that while I run to the restroom, and I will take that out of your way so you can read it. There you go. Perfect.
All right.
There you go.
Well,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. Get out of the way if you got to
All
go
right.
to the bathroom.
Go ahead. Read it.
All right. So you know what I'm here to talk about, folks. It's Fort Myers Tiki Tours. That's right. Take a relaxing 90-minute tour around the Intercoastal over on the Bayside on a Hawaiian-style tiki hut. You and 5 of your friends, could be family, could be co-workers, could be strangers, probably not your best solution there, but you can call us. We'll be your friends. You sit back and relax while the captain drives you around. Now, it's a certified captain because you don't get to drive the boat, but you can bring your food and drink on. They have a cooler. They have ice. So you sit back, relax, enjoy, eat, nosh a little bit. Everyone will be taking your picture because you look like a movie star on this Hawaiian-style tiki boat. So give them a call at 239-887-0042. Somebody did mention no one calls anymore. So just go on their website and you can book right from there. They have lots of openings. They have lots of captains. The captains are super entertaining. You might be able to go out there. You might see when you're out there, you might see some sea life. You might see a sea turtle. I was out there one time and I saw a sea turtle. Manatees are out there. Everything's hopping out there. So go over there. They're over at Salty Sam's Marina, which is, I believe, where we're going to be tomorrow for Taste of the Beach. So please join us and give them a call or go to FortMyersTikiTours.com. And we had the Tiki guy on last week or 2 weeks ago. Craig, he's so sweet. Hey, I did a segue, dear, for next week. Well, you too, because this is specifically for you. So now we have, now he got rid of all of my stuff. Yeah. All right, I'll hand you your stuff.
There you go. Nice and close.
So this is Mike Houlihan.
Hi, everybody.
That's a nice Irish name.
Well, thank you. And so is Kim Ryan.
Well,
and
that's
Ed Ryan.
that's his. I stole it from him. I did that thing when we got married.
There's only two kinds of people in this world, Kim.
Yeah.
Irish, and I wish I was Irish.
I know.
Look, you got all my stuff.
I do. I
good for
do.
you.
A
Yeah.
lot of people. That's how a lot of people feel. A lot of
Sure.
people like to be Irish, especially on St. Patrick's Day.
Of course. It's the only day you can legitimately get a load on and not feel guilty. Yeah.
I told you we got hooked up with someone who can go toe to toe with you.
I feel so out of place sitting right
I
here.
know.
It's
This
so
is great.
unusual sitting in this spot
Ed Ryan.
and not having my cans on.
So we're going to talk
Gilligan
about.
hat? What's with
I
the
know.
Gilligan hat there?
Oh,
You-
you know what?
you like-
I was just trying this out. Ed Kelly. This was from his 90th birthday. He
Wow.
was the Chicago Park District Commissioner, and he started a thing, the Giant Awards in Chicago, big sports kind of celebrity, but he's now 96 years old.
Wow.
So I wear this hat in honor of him, hoping that I make it that far.
How old are you?
I'm 73.
Nice.
Wow.
What do you weigh?
Feeling it. What do I weigh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
let's
Here we
not
go.
there.
What is it? 230?
230. Good
Nice,
one. Very
nice.
good, Ed. Yeah.
Now, before we talk about what you came here for,
Yeah.
what is the?
You
what
used to
is
be on the radio? You got a radio
I have
show?
a radio show. My son has a radio show. I have
Oh, I see.
a small public charity dedicated to Irish and Irish American culture. So we do 2 radio shows a week.
Do you do any podcasting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do, yeah.
They're in
It's
Chicago?
at hibernianradio.org. It's on global Irish radio all over the world.
Mm.
It's on tonight from
We're
7
all
to
over
8.
the world, too.
There you go.
We have 9 listeners all over the world.
That is not true.
That's more than I got.
Nice.
Nice.
And we do the film festival. We make films. We do an annual pilgrimage to Ireland, all in honor of our Irish heritage and our culture. And that's our niche.
Got it.
So yes.
So you were saying you do films, and that's why you're here to
We're
talk.
here.
You're here
I
because
was
you're
here 5 years ago, I think, for the
Fort Myers Beach International Film Festival.
Yes, our
Mhm.
friend Janine Pawalski has been so good to me. She's from Bridgeport on the south side of Chicago.
Wow.
And so I was here with another film called Our Irish Cousins, and we're back with this film, In Search
Called-
of Weeping Jim.
In Search of Weeping Jim, and it is about James Ambrose Kearns,
Yes.
who
way.
was the Chicago City Treasurer
Yeah.
at one point.
And the father of the Chicago flag. Yeah.
Yes, and he created the flag.
Mm-hmm.
Is
And
He
he
Chicago,
was an-
created, he put the legislation through.
Got
is
it.
Chicago still as corrupt as it was
Oh,
back
it's
in
worse
the day?
now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Worse.
Here
Good place
we
to get
go.
shot in the head, too.
Oh,
It's scary. I want to move here.
I didn't say that.
I want to move here.
I
This
is
love
more-
Chicago,
more
by
like
the
it.
way.
Okay.
Anita.
last
you
time
gotta know
he
where to
said
go.
something about people got all up in arms,
Oh,
so I
yeah.
imagine they're going to be
Well,
up
that
in arms
happens on my
now.
show all the time.
Yeah.
people get
You
offended.
should really not say anything controversial. It really
Okay.
doesn't pay.
Oh, I think we're already past
Well,
that.
let's come see my movie, son.
What's the
Yeah.
movie about
So
again?
tell us.
It's about James Ambrose Kearns, born on the tiny inner island of Inishcuttle in County Mayo. He immigrated to America at the age of 13 and came here and transformed America by becoming an alderman, a city treasurer, and a politician.
Dear, do you know what an alderman is?
It's like
It's like a town
assemblyman.
councilor.
All right, just
exactly.
checking.
Yeah. And he introduced
Quiz
the
me.
legislation that Chicago should have its own flag, and that was the flag. That was in 1917 is I think when the flag
Mhm.
came out.
When you came down to the beach, did you notice any Chicago flags being flown on the beach?
You know what? We were at Doc's Beach House last night. There's an awful lot of Chicago stuff on the wall there. Had a blast. But this is my first. I got here at like 4:00 yesterday. So
Can you answer my question, sir?
yes. I
Did
forgot
you
your
hear any
question.
flags from Chicago?
Did you
I
hear?
haven't seen any yet.
Did
No,
you see the Israeli flag being flown out there?
I didn't. I wouldn't recognize it anyway. I don't know.
There
what
you
it
go.
looks like.
Where did you see that flag, dear? Where was
Down
it?
on the beach.
The Israeli flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and today there was a lot of American flags. There was the Marines.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The United
so it was a
States
lot.
Marines.
United
Now,
States
those
Marines.
flags
Yeah.
are put in the sand, and there's going to be a hole in the sand.
Well, I'm sure they're going to fill them.
All right.
I'm
Make
sure they're
you
going to
the
fill
hole.
them. So,
You know why you have to
Weeping
fill the
Jim.
holes?
Why?
Because of the
start
turtles.
coming out
Oh,
tomorrow.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
The first thing this morning, I got a text on my phone and said, "If you mess with the turtles, there's a $500 fine."
Who sent you that text?
I don't know.
Bill Veach?
No, I don't know who it was, but it was
I
like,
see.
"Don't mess with the turtles."
Did you really get that?
Yeah,
A text.
a text.
Like, do you think it was like an automated text or
Yeah,
something?
probably, but it was
Yeah.
like you're
Like an
here
Amber
now
Alert.
and
It's a turtle alert.
Yeah, it was a turtle
How did,
Holy
alert.
how did they know you were here? GPS?
I have no idea. It's
Incredible.
Like they know
Where are you
everything.
staying?
I'm staying at on Del Mar. Rented a little house with.
Is it facing the beach?
Almost, but it's
Close enough.
I'll probably see some turtles.
No, you
and
won't.
I won't mess with them.
Yeah.
That's right. You
Yeah.
got to leave them alone.
Yeah.
I don't know
If
that.
you saw a little turtle
Yeah.
or a big turtle, would you say, I need to take a picture of it?
No.
No, I've seen a few turtles in my day.
Yeah. So
Yeah, you
you're-
can't. No lights. No lights with the
Oh,
with
you
the
don't want to
turtles.
flash a picture.
Yep.
I
Why?
agree.
Why?
It scares
Why?
them.
It scares
Yes.
them?
Yeah.
And then they go away and they won't lay their eggs,
Oh,
or
we
the
don't want
babies
that.
will get
We should do a
disoriented.
documentary on turtles.
There you go.
Turtles.
Maybe there's some Irish
I'll bet there is
turtles.
one. Yeah. I want to do one called Turtle Love.
Yeah,
Yeah.
after you heard
You know,
all of
turtles
that.
have penises.
They do?
Yeah.
did
I
not
just
know
learned that in the last segment.
Well,
I don't know. I didn't ask how big they were or anything like
That's
that. but
where I was
do you
gonna
know
go.
that the female turtles can put some of the sperm like in a packet and save it for another time where they come on the beach?
Save it for
They
another
lay the
day.
eggs, they go back
Yeah.
out in the water. If a male turtle comes up behind them, she's like, I've had enough sex for
Hey,
the
get out
season.
of here. Yeah.
Knock it off. Do you do that?
Well, I've heard women say that to me.
Yeah. What? Get off me? Get away
I've
from
had
me?
enough sex. Get away.
So,
Usually my wife.
Well, I would hope so. I mean,
Yeah.
are there other women doing it?
Enough. You're 73 years old. Get over it. Okay.
Are there other women that do it to you now?
just turtles?
Male turtles or female?
Janine,
Females, come on.
Janine, please help me
Are you
out
allowed
here.
to say female
So-
or male turtles, or is it?
Not anymore.
Right.
You know, not anymore. The world
How do
has
you
gone
sign your email?
turtle love? I don't
No,
know.
seriously.
How do I sign my? I don't,
Like, does it say your
my
name?
nickname is Hooli. And that's
Yeah.
what I sign everything with.
There you
Hooli.
go.
Hooli.
Hooli.
So the movie, the documentary, is
It's on
going to
Sunday.
be going on Sunday
Right.
at 5:15.
Right.
And how
Come on
long does
down.
it run?
It's about 80 minutes.
Uh-huh.
It's-
And it's
that
going to
long?
go through Weeping Jim's whole. All right.
No,
Now,
it tells the whole story, but there's a lot of comedy in it as
oh,
well.
well, I
Some
would hope
great
so.
music from the Saw Doctors.
Nice.
Gaelic Storm, Liam Durkin. It's just a lot of it's a lot of great footage. We shot it in
Now,
Ireland
when
over 5
he
years.
like reorients here,
Hey,
can
Hooli,
you tell
yeah.
him?
What's
Wait a
going on?
minute. Wait. Can you tell him how Weeping Jim got that name, Weeping Jim?
I can.
Yeah.
He came here and he was a young Irish immigrant, and there was no radio or anything in those days, and he wanted to campaign for office. He started going to all the wakes and funerals, and he would be very compassionate to the people, and they remembered, oh, that's the guy who showed up at my uncle's wake and cried. Yeah, let's vote for him.
There
it
you go.
worked. It worked.
No, that's
That
true.
is so
Isn't that-
creepy.
Weeping Jim Kearns.
That
I
is
don't. I
very
think
creepy.
he did it out of
It was
genuine compassion. I don't think
absolutely.
he did it as
Do
a
knowing he was gonna run for
campaign
office.
It was
thing.
his form of radio and television.
Yeah,
and
to
all
get
that,
out
yeah.
there
Yeah.
and
Would you like a beer?
No, thank you.
you've had too
I
many
got-
already.
I got, what do you call this?
Is that a Bloody Mary or
No.
is it an orange juice?
It's
It's
tomato
just
juice.
tomato
You're
juice.
such a liar, Hooli.
No, it was a plain one.
So I got a question for
Yeah.
you, Hooli. What's going on with Netflix? I mean, they're dying on the vine
You know
there.
what? I hope they do. I don't know. I'm always against the man.
Do you? What is your opinion on Elon Musk buying Twitter?
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
You know what I noticed? I didn't realize how many people would actually going to like lose their sanity over who owns
How
Twitter.
about it? Yeah.
Like, does it really matter who
And they
owns
always
Twitter?
show that picture of the same woman screaming, the Goo who's very upset. No, I think it's terrific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Trump will be back on Twitter?
I don't know about.
Are you a Trump voter?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And proud of it.
Do you think the election was stolen?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what. I think Governor DeSantis is the guy that should be our president.
I agree with that. Yeah, he's
Wow.
going to be the next president.
I would
Janine
like to see
really
that.
she
Because he
She
doesn't have the
teed this
baggage
up.
that Trump has. I mean, there's so many Trump haters out there.
Why
It's
is he
hard to
picking on
overcome.
Disney though?
Ah.
I mean, come on.
Don't get
It's
me
Mickey
started
Mouse.
on that.
You got to pick on Disney.
Yeah.
We love Disney.
Mickey.
Yeah.
I
You
guess
think-
you're not a fan.
No.
That's the man
Mickey's
thing
too
too.
kinky for me now.
Well, there you go.
What is your next
Interesting.
documentary going to be about? You have something in the works?
Yeah, we do actually. It's called Irish Cops Under Siege. And my radio show is dedicated to Irish first responders, cops, firefighters, paramedics, and nurses who lay their lives on the line every day to protect us and our families. And we think they are the modern day equivalent of our mythological ancient Irish warriors. So we
Nice.
have them on. They got the greatest stories in the world, the cops. But the cops have been going through some bad stuff.
Yeah. They've
And
been-
in 2020, they started rioting and burning the cities and everything. That's what the film's about. Irish cops under siege and how they're dealing with it. And,
When is that coming out?
got to get a lot of money for that.
Are you in
So-
favor of the Dune walkover?
The what?
The Dune walkover?
He doesn't
I
know
don't
about.
what that is. Is that
Yeah.
a beach thing?
It's
You
a
talk
beach
about
thing.
under siege. Our friend Jim has been under siege for 2 hours because Eddie Root's been sitting next to him talking to him for the last 2 hours. He can't get up and leave. I'm sure he's got to pee too.
The
So,
Dune walkover.
Yeah, it's a whole.
It's a
saga.
whole thing. You don't
So,
even want to go
What
there.
is your? Is this your first wife, by the way?
My
I have a
first
feeling
what?
it's not your first wife. Is it your first wife?
No, yes, I've been married for
Why
44
did you have to
years.
think about that?
I didn't
You-
know
he
what you were
couldn't
saying.
hear you.
Yeah. Do you have
You
any
were
hearing issues?
slurring your
I do have
words.
hearing
I see.
issues.
You don't have a
I'm
hearing.
old. I can't
Yeah.
see. I can't
73. You're in pretty good shape. You could stand to lose a few pounds.
You
So
ain't
cut out
kidding.
the bread.
Hear. Yeah.
You'll live longer.
I know. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to hang around. I want to be like.
Yeah.
Ed
Do you
Kelly.
exercise during the day?
I used to. Not in a
That's
while.
not what I asked you. If you used to, how come you don't
I
exercise
mean, you
now?
probably walk.
Because I just got here.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
you're going to be walking on the beach
I'll be walking.
So
you
you-
know what? I went swimming yesterday.
Where?
Over in the.
in the Gulf
You
of
went in that-
Mexico.
You went in that water?
Yeah, it was terrific. It was.
Did you see any turtles?
No.
Oh.
I did
Did
not
you see
offend
any
turtles.
dolphins?
No.
She thinks
I
dolphins are
saw-
sharks.
I saw
Really?
one this morning.
Yeah.
I saw a dolphin
The
this
show's not
morning.
about you, dear.
I
We're
was in
talking
the
about
shallow
yourself.
end
You
What?
of the Gulf of Mexico.
So when you meet up with the other filmmakers at the film festival,
Yeah.
do you like, come
Schmooze?
on, this guy's film is crap, or this? I mean,
No, I knew. You know what? I have my own film festival, so I know.
Oh, you do?
It ain't easy. So I'm anxious to meet other filmmakers.
it looks like there's a lot of cool
Irish-Americans.
events going on too. Like today and tomorrow, they got meet and
Oh.
greets
Oh,
and
yeah.
different kinds
Hey,
of.
Janine
Yeah, are
takes
you
good-
doing one of
yeah.
those? Are
Janine
you
takes
doing
good care of her
Yeah.
filmmakers.
the
How do you
at
say your
noon?
last
They
name?
do the
How do you
meet
say
and
your
greets.
last name?
Kowalski.
That's not how you say it.
That's what she told me about 20 minutes ago on
That's
the
not how
phone.
you say it.
Oh,
Kowalski.
see.
On the
Yes, it is.
boat?
No,
On the
I
phone.
texted her.
On
I
the
called her on the phone.
Yeah, there's a lot going
Janine
on
Kowalski.
today.
Her sister, you know what? She's from Bridgeport. Kowalski must be her married name.
That's not how you say it.
But she has
Now
a
you're
sister, Jackie.
yeah.
Jackie Crow. Jackie's out here too. Jackie's a
It's
doll.
Palasukis. That's you're not even
Palasukis?
close.
He's
Tell me
not even. He's
Kowalski.
poor Janine.
Did she
Sorry.
type it out to you, or did she say it? Did she say
She
you
said
Paul-
it twice.
She said it on the
Kowalski.
phone
She's hearing.
phonically.
She's listening right now, right, Janine?
She's
Janine
making sure,
Kowalski.
She's
she's
spelled
making
it
sure that you don't
phonetically.
screw up the
They
film
should give her a
festival.
medal here at Fort
Yeah.
Myers Beach.
Paula skis.
It's
Why don't she chat?
Paulus.
Look at, she's looking at the
Paulus.
chat. She's getting the
It's
info.
Paulus.
Palos.
What time is your movie playing, Hooli?
5:15
We
on
just
Sunday.
talked about that.
No, it's okay.
5:15
15
on
on
Sunday.
Sunday.
That's
Come
tomorrow.
on by. You'll love
No, yes, tomorrow.
That's good
Yeah.
because the Taste of the Beach is tomorrow. You should stop by that.
it. I absolutely will.
It's on the other side of the bridge
Yeah, you
at
just
Salty
gotta hop
Sands.
over.
yeah.
You could pass out your. We'll be doing our show there. If you come by, then we can have you on again.
Taste of the.
Taste of the Beach
Beach.
is on the other side of the bridge over at Salty
I'll
Sands.
find you guys.
And we'll have. They'll have plenty of orange juice there for you.
You know what? There's another guy coming who's in the film. He plays God. And his name is Greg Holloman, pretty well-known actor. He was on a TV show
course.
called Strangers with Candy. Do you remember that TV show?
No.
He played Principal Blackman. Very funny guy, Second City guy. He'll be there, and he's getting an award from the festival for
Nice.
breakout star or whatever. Very
How
funny.
how much did it cost you to produce this documentary?
60 grand.
Yep.
60 grand. Did
Yeah.
you have that
That
money
doesn't-
from your radio show?
No,
or-
we got grants from the government of Ireland, and
see.
we raised money from a lot of friends and relatives of Weeping Jim. Kicked
I
in.
would think it would be more. I'm
I
shocked.
thought
It
would
looks
be
like
more.
it
Yeah.
was more.
Yeah, I bet, well, I haven't
So
seen it
cost you
yet, but I'm
60
sure.
grand to make an 80-minute movie.
Yeah.
And how much have you made from it?
Oh, nothing.
Is
Well,
that
no,
but
wait, I
is
had
that
it
the
on
point?
Maybe a grand we've made. Yeah,
Is it
You're
really
not in
worth
it
all
for-
that effort?
yeah, it is.
You're not
certainly.
in it for the
You're
The
not
money.
in it
return
for
on
the money.
investment is really low.
I'm not in it for the money.
There
I'm
you
in the
go.
show. I'm in the show for all about the money.
Yeah. Okay.
And
We wouldn't
you're
be doing
making,
the show.
you're
Business,
making
right?
nothing.
Yeah, we don't need to be doing the show
Show
unless we're making
business,
money. I mean,
sure.
who does
I
who
make
does
so much
things not
money
to
on my
make
radio
money
show.
though?
Well, folks,
You know what?
Does your radio
Ed,
show make
Ed,
money?
It's not about the money. It's about the money.
Is that some kind of hot comedy thing that I missed?
It's an old bit.
Oh, I see. On Second City?
No.
Yeah.
It's an old Hooli bit.
Oh,
an
I
old
see.
Hooli bit.
Now, how can people hear your show?
They can hear the show at hibernianradio.org.
I've never
That's
heard
a
of that.
podcast
Are you
book.
on TuneIn or Pandora
Yes,
or
all that stuff.
iHeartRadio?
Yeah, I don't know about iHeart, but all that stuff. And
Nice.
hibernianradio.org. Also on tonight, Saturday, between 8 and 9, because you guys are an hour ahead of Chicago, at GIR.IE, Global Irish Radio.
You make it too hard for people.
I know.
It's a lot of like Hibernia Radio.
hibernianradio.org.
Nobody's heard of that.
Do you have a website where they can go to and check it out?
Hibernian Radio.
Okay.
Dear, come on.
All right.
Why do you
Anything
ask
else
dumb
you-
questions like that? It's
All right,
Hibernian.
Derek.
Also
something
see
or other.
everybody Sunday at 5:15.
Yes.
Awesome.
For In Search
All
of
right.
Weeping Jim.
Search of Weeping
In
Jim.
search
And then
of
we'll have a
Weeping Jim.
jar afterwards.
What's
I
that?
see. A tip jar.
A tip jar?
No, a drink.
Oh, I thought it was like a tip
A
jar.
pint. A pint
Like
of
a
Guinness.
pint.
Are you
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
collecting money afterwards so you can
No,
make some
I'm
money out
just
of it?
there to embrace the public. And,
I see.
Enjoy and
Well, we're
revel
so-
in
Your
our
wife
Irish
might have
heritage.
something to say about that.
She's
So.
not
44
with me on
years.
this
Your
trip.
first wife.
My son.
44 years.
Your son might have to moderate
So
that
thank you for
embracing.
coming on, and thank you for
Thank
waiting.
Thank you.
Ed. I
Thank you
Yeah,
for
appreciate
waiting.
having
you.
a ball
Thank
here with
you.
you guys. I'll try and find you tomorrow.
All
Yes,
right.
we will find you one way or the
God
other.
bless you both. Thanks, everybody. See
Thank
you
you for
Sunday.
coming on.
Thank
Thank you so
this
much.
is
Thanks. Just
the
watch your
film
foot.
festival is going on now, ladies and gentlemen, at the Beach Theater, where Janine Palasukis or Pawlowski or however you want to say her name is organizing the entire event.
Right there.
I
I
thought
can't
it was
read it. I don't have my
it's
glasses.
Palasukis. I don't know.
Pawlowski.
Anyway, it's
Paula-
Janine. Everybody knows her as Janine.
Pawlowski.
This is a
Paula-
world record-setting
We're crushing
length of a
it.
show, dear. It was worth every minute of it.
He
It
was
was-
great.
He was great.
That
We
was-
should have
It's a good way to end the show with some humor.
we should have rescheduled at least one of the guests somehow. But
Thank you
everything is
so much.
everything is
Thank
kind
you.
of timely for what's going on. There's so many things going
Yeah.
on the beach, and we could talk about things for the next 9 minutes and make it a 2-hour show. But we
No,
won't
let's
bore
go.
you, everybody. We thank you for tuning in for as long as you did. I don't know about you, but I had a great time today. Even with Eddie Rude coming down and being on the show, I still had a great time.
Yes, it was just fun for everybody. There was something for everybody, and thank you to all the guests.
We'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be broadcasting live from the Taste of the Beach at 11
Why didn't we
o'clock.
we should have brought some of those people over there.
What people?
The people that we had on, so they could have had more time.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
So tomorrow at 11 o'clock, we will be broadcasting live from the Taste of the Beach. We hope to see you there. We'll be by the beer tent because she likes to hang out
Yeah,
in front
right.
of the beer
You
tent.
see who's drinking
and
the
that's
beer.
where she asks to be, in front of the beer tent.
All right,
So
folks.
we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.